Hello. The Premier League is back. The Premier League is finally back, guys. Hope you are doing well, everyone. This is the Premier League mega preview of not only game week 1, but also we'll talk about the season as well. Thank you so much for people who are joining in right now. We have fantastic panel today. We have Ankit Bhai, OG, Almighty Blues is here. We have the football showdown, Suchit and Arush is here. And Lala will be here in a while as well. Fatafat thoda chat I'll welcome everyone, and then Fatafat will add the guests. They're on the stage. It's gonna be an epic stream, guys. This is one of the most epic streams that's gonna happen in Ash Talks Football. So stay tuned. Baliba gone, bhai साहब मैं सपना टूटा है तो दिल कभी जलता है. I have already mentioned this. It's just absolutely insane, bhai. Are Nathan is here. Thank you so much. Road to 1K. Let's go, bhai. Road to 1K. See, I hope this month it happens, man. Absolutely. Thank you so much for commenting, man. Ritan is here. काफी लोग join कर चुके हैं. Ishan is here. Fantastic. Ash bhai on. Absolutely, man. I won't waste much time, honestly. I'll add everyone to the stage quickly. ठीक है? Let's do it. ठीक है ना? Let's fantastic. So Suchit is here. Absolutely fantastic. We have a full house today. It's an absolute full house today. Loco's here. Ankit Bhai is here. Suchit is here, and Arush is here. आप लोग क्या? How are you guys? Absolutely. How are you guys doing?
I think the war is on. It's clear here itself. I think obviously we are waiting for the Liverpool fan. But kahin na kahin, matlab, the OGs will remember the actual original top four. As we would like to say it. Lekin, banter aside, jokes aside, I think Independence asked Mela bhai. I think Carlos Baliba goes Zeneton, to be honest. लेकिन
नहीं दर्द छोड़ोगे नहीं आप मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं रुको
भाई कहीं ना कहीं मतलब it was written on the wall expectations ना बढ़ाकर आप अपना जलाते हो मतलब यही हुआ है सच बोलो तो लेकिन इसमें बोलो ना I think this Premier League season I think we know it already भाई it's one of the best seasons that's going to be लेकिन भाई Arsenal fans I would love to hear from Suchit and Arush expectations आपकी है नहीं है इस बार क्या सीन है भाई बोलो
First of all, I would like to say thank you for inviting us on the channel. Sorry for the delay. I was just trying to comb my hair. That's why it took time. Next thing, I want to say congratulations Liverpool on winning the title. I think it's their title to lose. The expectations is that Liverpool will win the title. That's all I have.
Reverse psychology, guys. Reverse psychology.
I do not know what you're talking about, Ankit Bhai. I think I'm being very honest here that Liverpool are the title winners.
We will talk about it. Suchit. We'll talk about it in details because I have some really hot questions for everyone. Since I'm outside of that top 4 race, अब मैं मजे ले सकता हूँ. So that's going to be the theme today of the stream. We're going to discuss a lot of topics, guys. So people who are joining in, we're going to discuss. We're not going to do the regular Premier League preview. We're going to do something else. Like we'll talk about different topics around player of the seasons कौन होंगे, who will be like golden boot, वो सब वगैरह. We will talk about those. ऐसा नहीं कि कौन कहाँ finish करेगा.
तो आशीष that people are, I think, more टांग खींचने में interested है कि भाई flop कौन होगा सबसे पहले वो बोलो.
Exactly. We will talk about the flops as well. मेरे पास सारे transfers इस साल है. I think we did a stream before with Lala as well around this, but definitely आज उस पे भी बात करेंगे. 4 horse race होगा. Ishan is saying absolutely yes, absolutely. Loudmouth football is here as well. Bro लगता है कंगी अच्छे तरीके से नहीं मारी. It's for you, Suchit.
I didn't understand, so you got to translate.
Hair properly.
Oh, okay.
Baliba is here, guys. Carlos Baliba is here on the chat. मुझसे United जाना है.
इसके लिए तो एटलीस्ट आया भाई. Nice to see.
No. Ash bhai, huge congratulations to us. I have been cooked already in my Discord server that Baliba is not coming. But hey, guys, you know what? I know the initial talks have not it's not meeting the valuation all. But agar Baliba chahe and his agent, if they can make it work, they can make it work. Let's see. Let's wait till the end of season. But I think the hopes are completely off right now. Right? What do you guys think? First, I'll start with Ankit bhai. Like, do you realistically see this Baliba deal absolutely happening?
देखो मैं सबसे पहले जब मैं 2 बार रिएक्ट कर दिया थी, एक ऑनस्टीन बोम्बा और एक फेब्रिशो ना. ऑनस्टीन व्हेन ही पुट द ट्वीट ना, the wordings kind of said कि कहीं ना कहीं it might be a क्या बोलते हैं decoy बोलते हैं ना मतलब Manchester trying to do a क्या बोलते हैं let's put the ball low हमारा basically थोड़ा say होना चाहिए तो we don't want to
Right.
all that we are desperate for Baliba and that is
Mm.
why we are pulling off.
Right.
That is why maybe they want Baliba's camp or maybe Brighton to say कि basically things can come down or whatever it is, right? But then Fabricio, the way he put his, I think वो होता है ना कहीं the last coffin in the thing, last nail in the coffin
Last
लग
nail
गया.
on the coffin. Now Ornstein ka bomba. I think that's
Brighton,
what happened.
it's nothing against Manchester United. It's about Brighton here.
Yeah.
We have dealt with that. Arsenal have dealt with that. They wanted a Caicedo that summer. Remember, next summer we got it, right. Liverpool wanted Caicedo. That happened, and they want money. They don't care.
Right.
And their manager, the young manager, भाई अगर हमें लगता ना Deserby had a persona, a personality. This guy is next level. The way that he gave the interview, उस समय मुझे पता लग गया. आज सुबह मैं देखा था. This guy is not anywhere, Baliba. It's clear.
He's not going where. And Suchit, what do you think? And Arush also chime in. Like, do you see this, first of all, this deal realistically happening for Baliba? And second is, first of all, is Baliba good for United? Like from an Arsenal POV as well. Or what's the next player we should look at? I know, guys, jo chat mein dekh rahe hain, I have made a video on the different midfielders that we have. But I would like to hear from the football showdown folks today. That who is the right midfielder for United if we don't get Baliba?
Okay. I'll go first.
Yeah.
Yes, I think Baleba is more than a game changer for United. I think for the defense, for the midfield wows that they have,
Right.
and where they are the weakest, I think Baleba as a single player can actually hold that midfield for them because we know how talented he is and actually holding onto the ball, carrying the ball with his passing as well, and he's very, very fearless. And I think that is what United need. I don't see the deal happening. You can call it hopium from United fans that they can see it
Yep.
happening now, but I don't see it happening. But the positive part about the deal is that the announcement is that the final line from Ornstein said that he is willing to actually go to United, but he isn't unhappy at Brighton as well. So that
Exactly.
just tells you that the initial contacts have taken place and y'all can expect it to happen in the near future and y'all have the advantage there. So I think in that sense, it's a good option. Now it is up to United to actually decide whether they want to get an experienced player, a young player to just fill in that position and stuff like that.
Right.
If I have a name, I would say Javier Guerra because he's
Mm.
someone you'll have been linked with as well, and I've watched him. So I would say
Exactly.
a young guy from Spain to actually bring in that technicality in midfield. I would go for Javier Guerra to do it.
Fantastic opinion. I'm pretty much in like agreement with you because I have also researched Javi Guerra a lot. Very athletic player, by the way, very tall,
Yeah.
tailor made for the Premier League. Ball progression is good. I mean, obviously he has a good long strike in him as well that the Premier League definitely needs. I think also Suchit, what options do you feel from your end? Like I think Arush has mentioned that Javi Guerra looks like a good, good realistic option from a price point of view, from a player growth POV. But what do you think? What United needs right now? I'm asking you a question from a Wharton perspective.
I understood like where you're going, but see, if you're targeting any player from the Premier League, they will obviously cost on the upwards of 80 or 90 million, right? At least because of the fact that Wharton's English on top of that. And Crystal Palace are a club that will try to milk as much money as possible. Maybe if you go to like Italy, our friend Rahul, who is a Juventus fan, he said Locatelli might be a decent option for you guys. Maybe he could come for a cheaper option.
Right.
Maybe he could be the mobile CDM that you guys could put in with someone like an Ugarte or maybe someone
Right.
like a Mino, depending on
Right.
the situation that you want, right? But I think if you guys get Wharton, it would be really, really. I mean, it will be a huge upgrade for you guys. I'm kind
Right.
of surprised that this deal didn't happen. Maybe, just maybe, if Chelsea came and took Garnacho quicker, maybe this deal could have happened because that would be under pure profits and you could spend 3 times
Absolutely.
of it.
That Suchit, that is the 4D chess that we've been playing. Because
Exactly.
मैंने वही चीज जो वीडियो आशीष ने डाला था ना उसी वीडियो के रिएक्शन में मैंने नेक्स्ट डे आशीष तो knows it next day I put a video and I exactly spoke about that कि भाई हम यहाँ पर should we fund Manchester United or what, because that would be crazily stupid, right? And that is what I am actually glad that we did that. One, that yes, technically United ke liye I feel bad as a neutral, but if you think as an opposition, it's good, right? You're kind of
Yeah, yeah.
not giving them that bonus, extra 35 million or 40 million, or for United 45
Hmm,
million bonus, right?
hmm,
Plus, you are also kind of eventually making them desperate to sell Garnacho even this late because they still need a midfielder,
hmm,
right?
hmm,
So
hmm.
his price might come down, and that's, I think, you know what, our directors, as much as our ownership and directors has to be questioned big time for playing, FIFA, but they
Right,
know the finances, man. In
right.
finances, I think you'll have to give them, because
Hmm,
jitna bhi jhol hai na, they are
Right.
still in PSR doing so well, and I think that's where
hmm,
Absolutely.
United are slowly but steadily. I think they are learning now. If
hmm,
they really wanted, they
Right.
could
hmm,
have like given crazy money for Sesko upfront, like which United of the past would have done. So even
Right.
hmm,
to
Right.
some extent, they are learning, and
hmm,
the only thing is here, like Napoli, Brighton,
hmm.
there are certain clubs, no, you just don't deal with, bro. It's very difficult to deal
It's
with them. I'm
difficult.
telling
Yeah.
you, it's a big
Even the
red
likes of
flag.
Newcastle as well. Even the likes
Hmm,
of
hmm,
Yeah,
Newcastle, I would say in that
hmm,
certain.
Tottenham, the worst. Spurs are the
hmm.
worst in that
Yeah.
matter, right? So that's what it is.
Pramodini, I won't agree
Bottom,
with this statement. I think
yeah, yeah.
Watinga growth rather has become even better once he's back from injury because
Hmm,
of his performances. Crystal Palace actually went up the league. They
hmm,
also he had a fantastic performance against Man City in the FA Cup final as well, and also again in the Community Shield as well. So I think Wharton is definitely slowly going and growing as well.
hmm,
Before we dive into the Premier League preview, I think Baliba ka baat we can, that's a different topic, and Garnacho is a different topic for another day. I think let's focus on the Premier League
hmm.
preview today. Also, Krishanu bol rahe, like the stream, guys, and join the Discord server because FPL is gonna close soon. FPL competition, if you have to take part, definitely do join the Discord server. Also, do subscribe, everyone who have not, to Almighty Blues. If people will watch this stream after as well, Almighty Blues. Also follow Arush on Twitter as well, and also they are part of the Football Showdown. So definitely do subscribe to their channel. Absolutely fantastic channels to check out.
Okay, what is the FPL code? You might want to put
नहीं नहीं
a banner
एफपीएल
or
कोड
something.
नहीं एफपीएल कोड मैं ओपनली नहीं डाल रहा हूँ इट्स ओनली फॉर माय
He's
डिस्कॉर्ड
cracked.
फोक्स
He's cracked it.
Bro,
Yeah.
my Discord, I've forgotten the password, man. I myself am hosting it. मैं 2 साल तक क्या मैं खुद ही भूल गया भाई.
you
Cristiano said he'll be helping
you
me
have
next time. I'll
Krishanu for
contact you. Yeah,
any
yeah,
help that you need
yeah, yeah.
absolutely
I'll
he's gonna
contact
help
you
you
for
guys
sure, man.
absolutely yes so
Hmm,
again I'm telling you fpl code मैं open नहीं कर रहा हूँ because I want my discord folks to win this prize and also my loyal
I got
subscribers to win
rejected,
this
guys. What is this?
नहीं नहीं आप ज्वाइन करो भाई देखो सी आपका क्या है भाई you guys are bros so the thing is that इन लोग हैं
अरे
मेरे सर्वर
मजाक
पे
कर रहा था भाई. मैं तो ऑटो पिक किया हुआ. मैं तो I just create the league so that my community can play it, right, to be honest.
हाँ
I love, bantering them.
exactly
मैं खुद नहीं खेलता.
hmm,
So yeah.
absolutely let's go so
hmm,
first, I think since Arsenal folks are here on the channel, right? And also
almost.
we have Football Corner Pod as well. Absolutely fantastic. Why he collabed with us. Check out his channel as well, guys.
Hmm,
He collabed with every one of us actually for a
yeah,
video. Very, very good.
exactly.
Very calm, very composed guy, man. Love the conversation that we had.
Hmm,
Do check out his channel, guys. 19 people watching. Definitely do that. Steal Manu Kone from Inter's clutches if Balibar doesn't happen. Highly athletic with physical prowess with ball carry anticipation and law. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, see, we have to be smart. I mean, Baliba ka stream I'm gonna do tomorrow, guys. We'll definitely do a detailed different midfield options wala situation. But today, let's focus on the Premier League preview. Lots to unpack, guys. Definitely. Deadline is in 45 minutes. Join kar lo, guys. Arsenal.
hmm,
Let's go. It's not gonna be a regular game week preview for you guys today.
hmm,
We need to discuss about this situation that like Arsenal are one of the prime title runners on this season, right?
hmm,
Now we know the signings that Arsenal has done. We know whatever has happened with the transfer window. We know the misses, the hits and the misses.
hmm,
But let's take an opinion from first of all Suchit, and then I'll go to Arush and then Ankit Bhai, right?
hmm.
Who do you think is the most vital player for Arsenal this season gonna be?
Zubimendi, like without a doubt, like I've said this before the season ended. I've said this during the window. I've said this in the
Right.
last three preseason games. Every time anybody asks, for me it has been Zubimendi because that guy will unlock the midfield, the central zones, the wing play, the balls, people who need to run behind the defenders, everything. I think Zubimendi is the one that will unlock. We've seen that even against Athletic Bilbao as well. Like maybe if somebody like him can like unlock Rice and Odegaard and bring in that progression play as well.
Right.
I don't think there's a better answer than Zubimendi in my
And he's
opinion.
had a very consistent and a fantastic preseason. I think people saw finally people saw. And like when I also discussed like long back with you guys as well, I mentioned like you guys are signing Zubimendi, your central progression is absolutely sorted. Not
Mm.
only central progression,
Mm.
जो वो बॉल रिलीज करके आपको देगा like to the wings, like before even the opposition midfield presses, the ball is already away,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And but that comes to my question: is this such an important season right now for Odegaard as well? And
Mm.
talking about अबे चेल्सी का कहाँ से आ गया, रुको चेल्सी बाद में करते हैं चेल्सी
मैं
बाद में करते हैं
मुझे लगता है आप जॉर्जिनो को याद कर दिए। मैं जुबी मंडी का वो प्रोफाइल है ना, नॉट वेरी डिसिमिलर।
no
Yes.
definitely. And look who's here bhai, look who's here. Ayush Lala is here
So,
on this channel.
Mm.
Welcome back bhai,
थैंक
कैसे
यू
हो?
थैंक यू थैंक यू थैंक यू। क्या हाल
Absolutely
चाल सबके,
fantastic.
क्या हाल चाल?
ऑल गुड ऑल गुड।
बढ़िया भाई।
All good, all good, all good, man. Absolutely. मैं सोच रहा हूँ इस लेआउट को ऐसे कर देते हैं, बट 6 लोग आए नहीं आज, तो ऐसे करते हैं। चलिए ठीक है ना, बढ़िया। पास 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 आराम से क्लोज अप में बात करेंगे। सो ओके, सो अभी हम लोग बात कर रहे थे लाला, आर्सेनल प्लेयर ऑफ द ईयर की। आई थिंक दिस इज नॉट अ रेगुलर प्रीव्यू दैट वी आर डूइंग हियर, दिस वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट which are the game changers for each team that are absolutely essential जो काम करे। And Suchit को मैंने पूछा था कि who's gonna be the player of the year for Arsenal this season, it's gonna be Zubimendi is his answer। तो उस पे I'll next come to before I come to you भाई, I'll come to Arush next, to coming to a point that भाई uh, they had a very they had a very underwhelming season in my opinion, Odegaard. So what do you think on that?
डिसाइड कर लो क्या रखना है
हाँ
लेआउट।
हाँ हाँ, अरे स्विच हो रहा है बहुत बार बार नो वरीज नो वरीज। व्हाट डू यू थिंक आरुष?
आर्सेनल को पहले ही झटका मिल रहा है कि यार प्रीमियर लीग से पहले मिले तो बेटर है, नहीं क्या? तो
Definitely.
आशीष इज लाइक चलो प्ले प्रैक्टिस करा देते हैं। दिस टाइम
Right.
आर्सेनल आर ऑलरेडी कुक्ड, राइट? नहीं क्या
Right,
आरुष?
right. Definitely.
Mhm.
So Arush,
Mhm.
a question for you. Like, is this a big
Yeah.
season for Odegaard this season? I mean,
Yeah.
all the criticism that has happened on Odegaard, his numbers have. I had a stat. His numbers last season dropped by 50%, and from the previous season, his numbers have dropped from 75% as well in terms of goals and assists. What do you think? Is he going to be the player of the year, or is going to be Zubimendi for you?
Yeah, I do agree with what Sujit said. I think Zubimendi is our biggest cog for this season. I think he brings in the stability. But what I think directly affects Zubimendi's inclusion is an Odegaard, because we have spoken of Odegaard having to drop deep and stuff like that. Him being in a favorable position ahead, like somewhere across, just behind the striker, I think
Right.
that gets the best out of Odegaard as well. He's someone who's going to press. He's someone who's going to play those passes between the lines. He has someone like a Gyökeres who's going to make those runs. And he has Saka who's hopefully going to be fit for the season.
Right.
The reason for his drop in numbers has one been his reliance on Saka, and Saka was injured for more than 4 months last season. Then he was injured himself for 2+ months, and our attack was completely shambolic last season. You can see the drop in goals we had since the 23 season as well,
Right.
where we scored the most goals, but last season we were at least 10 to 15 goals behind Liverpool itself. So in that sense, I think Odegaard has a huge season. The bigger questions have come from the fans as to how he's not captain material and stuff like that, which I don't think neither of me and Suchit play with.
Right.
I think it is a huge season for Odegaard to lead the side as a captain to glory, because obviously we know how important this season is for Mikel Arteta's standpoints and for Arsenal as well. So I think
Right.
Odegaard should be having a lovely season. He has a striker, he has a decent enough attack in front of him, which he used to benefit from. So I think in that sense, he should be having a very good season.
Fair. Ankit bhai, what do you think? And will not only like come to like con player of the year hoga. I think there was criticism that was absolutely valid for Odegaard as to why he did not perform. Who do you
Yeah.
think is gonna be Arsenal's player of the season? This one, the most important player.
आई थिंक मतलब अगेन ये तो नो ब्रेनर है, सब लोगों को पता ही है। मतलब अगेन फेमसली वी डिड इट राइट, सर्टेन टीम्स आप हमेशा देखते हो दैट मिसिंग पीस। तो विक्टर ग्योकरेस इज द गाय, टेक्निकली स्पीकिंग, जो अगर एवरीथिंग एल्स रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट एंड ही हिट्स द गोल्स। लास्ट टाइम हैवर्ट्स वाज द हाईएस्ट गोल स्कोरर विद 9 goals if I'm not wrong, right, in the league. So
Yeah.
that's not done, right? Your Arsenal Football Club, you need your striker to score goals, and that's what he's for, right? So
Right.
that is the answer. But to unlock that, I totally agree with Suchit and of course Arush as well. I think the midfield has got to be the key. And I think particular नाम जो अभी तक हमने एकदम highlight नहीं किया, I would like to say Declan Rice. And it's not just because Tony Adams ने बोला है that Declan Rice got to be the captain and all that. It's not just because of that. I think tactically, if I have to think, for Zubi Mendy to prosper, remember last season a certain someone who went to Villarreal was there. He is far more physical, while Zubi Mendy is much more of a better baller. So वहाँ पर Declan Rice needs to kind of help out Zubi Mendy a little bit more compared to what he was having the license last time around. ठीक है? तो वो चीज Declan Rice, for if you ask me, 100% is able to do it. Lekin to do it at the topmost level, week in, week out, jab you are under the pressure of 3 consecutive seasons second, is the next level altogether. Plus Odegaard as well. One, he has to kind of be more consistent. Second, even he has to kind of help out. So it's what jo Tigdi and that trio is kind of so important for your Sakas, for your be it Martinelli or Madueke, or for your Gyökeres to kind of really get more chances. And I think मेरा ये prediction already है, मैं तो अपने चैनल में लाइव बोल रखा हूँ और मुझे गाली भी पड़ी है अपने फैन से कि why are you supporting Arsenal? No, it's not about supporting Arsenal. I'm just being realistic. I genuinely believe that certain clubs and certain players, no matter what, they take the banter or have given the banter. I feel that Arsenal this time, for me, is looking the most complete side. And people might disagree, they might have their own thing. I genuinely believe कि अगर if you have a Declan Rice, Zubi Mendy midfield and an Odegaard, Saka, who have always been there thereabouts, Gyökeres, even if he gets 1/3 the number of goals of last time around, right? Everything else remains constant. The last time they got so many injuries, right? I don't think it's going to happen again. So again, the key is Declan Rice because he plays both the roles, number 8 as well as number 6. So that is going to be the key for me.
So Lala, what do you think, bhai? Like I think Zubi Mendy hai, they have like, and Ankit bhai is absolutely mentioning Gyökeres as one of the biggest troublemakers of it.
Simple सी बात है. I think Suchit and Arush might have seen that tweet where I said that Zubi Mendy के बारे में मैंने किया था ना. I love him. I think he's a solid player, solid tank. But genuinely बोलूं, this season every player has to play at its best. Peak पे खेलना पड़ेगा हर एक Arsenal player को to win the title. Simple सी बात है. This time around they don't have any excuses in my opinion. I think I would love, I'll still say if Isak joins Liverpool हम पूरी टक्कर देंगे, but defensively we are shit. And a lot of people have seen that after Community Shield that defensively Liverpool is shit. Arsenal defensively are fucking solid. अगर आप देखोगे हमने जिस जगह पे players लाए हैं ना, that is in a way integrating new players in that positions, first team players. Arsenal ने एक ही first team player सबसे main जो लाया, that is Gyökeres, right? Zubi Mendy is that, but at the same time they had players there उससे पहले, right? They have that वो consistency throughout इतने seasons का, team में cohesion है, and सबसे बड़ी बात defense is there. वो जो इंटेग्रल पार्ट होता है ना डिफेंस का, वो आखिरी के 7-8 लोग वो उधर हैं, वो कहीं नहीं गए. तो I'll still say not Zubi Mendy, not Gyökeres, सबको अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा अगर उनको टाइटल जीतना. किसी ने भी एक ऊपर नीचे खेला वो टाइटल नहीं जीते क्योंकि बाकी टीम्स ने भी मैसिवली इंप्रूव किया. तो मेरे लिए तो हर एक प्लेयर को अच्छा खेलना पड़ेगा उनके, एंड खासकर मार्टिनेली.
Right. Talking about Martinelli, guys. So obviously, and this mein mera opinion hai. Since I have included Saka on this one, right? There's a reason I included Saka isme, theek hai? There's a reason why I'm saying ki I know we have the likes of Zubi Mendy, we have the likes of आपके Declan Rice हो गए जो integral है overall consistency season maintain करने के. But Saka needs to have the most injury free and consistent seasons because because I don't expect Martinelli to go do fantastic numbers. Now you don't have even bought a left wing at this point. If Saka produces the numbers of when he did in the 2022-23 season, even the one before and even the last season, not last season, I would say, he is that X factor that will win Arsenal games when you absolutely need him to consistently week in, week out. I think mere hisab se this is the biggest season for Bukayo Saka, not because of the expectations, because this is a litmus test for Arteta and also for Arsenal to finally start the conversation that they need to win the title right now. And for that to happen, Bukayo Saka has to come out of that shell of can he be like I put him in world class, but he, let's be fair, he has not reached that level. Can you agree on that, and on that piece, that he has not unleashed himself
मतलब
completely in that sense?
any young player for that
Yeah.
matter, until they are integral to winning a major cup competition or major trophy,
Mhm.
week in week out wala, I don't think we can put in world class category yet. But I think he's the closest, right? Let's be real. Matlab, like I said,
Right.
Declan Rice, Saka, a couple of them I think are getting there. I think they are your leaders from a footballing perspective when it comes to this Arsenal team. And I think the match against Real Madrid, for example, right? If you had, like, for example, at the peak where Arsenal would have had each and every one available, right,
Mhm.
going into the latter half of the competitions, right? Who
Right.
knows? Things would have been different. But I think Ashish is saying you have to start the conversation. I think it has reached the peak of the conversation that Arteta used to win the major
Right.
competition, if I'm not wrong. I think
Yep.
Saka has, and you know what? आई डोंट नो इफ how many of you all agree. I know मैंने खुद बैंटर किया है, लेकिन कहीं ना
Mhm.
कहीं मतलब do you really think Madueke will push Saka मतलब to some, because Madueke, as much as it's funny, the
Hmm.
guy is such that he gives you that क्या बोलते हैं, he wants to start every game, he wants to
Hmm.
basically be there in your face. So I think somewhere down the line, in the dressing room there will be a
Right.
say fun and banter competition, which is not too bad for the dressing room, and I think that will help Saka
Hmm.
to kind of not even, like, although he doesn't take it for granted, but I don't think he even will this season.
Right. 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 Comments भी वही बोल रहे हैं. I think Madueke is the left wing signing. I'm telling you, Saka is not world class. People are already saying, and Lala, before, like, आप जब थे बाहर, we were talking about, my opinion was that I think this is the biggest season for Bukayo Saka to absolutely shine. ये अब आ गया टाइम कि भाई वो अपने शेल से निकले and reach that
यार
peak
वो और
among peak
कितना
figures.
करेगा बेचारा, कर तो रहा है, पिछले
कर रहा
साल
है,
भी किया उसने.
I don't think
but
he's
you
any
didn't get
in
my
any
POV.
shell though.
I don't think so. I
Consistency है
agree.
उसमें
I
bro.
don't think so. He's never, he's been in his shell वगैरह. I don't agree to it.
And
No,
Not at all.
last season before he got injured, I think he almost hit double digits in the season itself in goals and assists both
He
together, even before
he
getting
himself
that
had
injury.
10 assists by November end.
Exactly.
10
10,
assists by the
10
way.
assists and close
League
to like
record is 20 by the way.
6 to 7 goals already in the season.
Like, with all due respect, Ash bhai, देखो, he is world class का मतलब he is there. वो category almost, he's
हाँ,
pretty much there in that category. But एक बात बताओ, there's a difference to a consistent player like Mohamed Salah and Bukayo Saka. समझ रहे हो? कुछ प्लेयर होते हैं, पता है he is that clutch. ये मारेगा ही मारेगा. I think Saka उससे एक लेवल नीचे है.
वही मेरा पॉइंट वही है इस टाइम
And
पे.
I
That
feel
was my
Saka,
POV.
एंड आई फील साका में भी कुछ प्लेयर होते हैं जो उस नहीं ले जा सकते उस लेवल पे. कोई गलत बात नहीं है भाई.
नहीं, गलत नहीं है.
हर एक प्लेयर का अपना अपना सीलिंग होता है. ऐसे लोगों ने कोल पामर को एक सीजन अच्छा
He's
खेला तो वर्ल्ड
23
क्लास
by the
बना
way.
दिया.
Yeah, he's 23. No,
23
I
क्या?
get it. No, I
तो
get it. But मेरा
उसने
उस पे
इतना जल्दी स्टार्ट किया है तो लोगों का एक्सपेक्टेशन बढ़ गया जी बुकायो साका फाड़ देगा ना उसको.
नहीं, it was almost Lala, it was almost like आपको याद हो तो Gareth Bale started as a left back, then became like a top most right winger of all time.
right winger of
So
all
एक
time.
एक generally एक थी कि यार this guy might be the next thing which comes out of nowhere,
वही अंकित
and
भाई,
he has
सारे
that. I agree with
सारे
Lala.
कैरेट बेल लेवल पे नहीं जा सकते ना. मे बी साका नहीं
Correct.
जा
उसकी
सकता उस लेवल
ability
पे.
और वो
I
अलग
think
kind of player है, अलग profile of player है. He needs people at least, like, for me he is more of a supplier than just a goal scorer. मतलब Gareth Bale is a खुद defense से attack तक खुद ले जाता था, goal मारता था. I don't think he's that kind of a player. For me,
Right.
that is where I said कि यार you need the help of Odegaard, you need the help of Gyökeres. अगर आप लोग बाकी लोग goals नहीं मारेंगे ना, साका अकेला नहीं कर पाएगा आपको. मतलब
Right.
कोल पामर ने कितना मारा था यार, इतने गोल्स मारे थे, हम फिर भी
फिर तो उसको वर्ल्ड क्लास कैटेगरी में नहीं डाल सकते. देन वर्ल्ड क्लास हम उसको कैटेगराइज करते हैं जो ही कैन मेक समथिंग आउट ऑफ नथिंग, राइट. हम वो कैवियट लेते हैं.
or you are the man who has taken your team to glory, at the topmost level.
बट देखा जाए कुछ सिंगल हैंडेडली चलाया है बुकायो साका ने आर्सेनल का अटैक इतने साल मेरे
Right.
हिसाब
No, I get it. So मेरा POV इसमें, I think everyone misconstrued what I meant to say. What I meant to say is, I'm not saying that Bukayo Saka is now world class. He has right now enough experience in the Premier League to right now keep challenging there among the top players कि नहीं, मैं तुमको लीग जिता के लेके आ जाऊंगा. Now I agree. He has right now a better core in my opinion with the likes of Madueke. अब depend करता है कि how Arteta is going to use it. If Arteta is going to again use him week in week out and not trust his bench, we might not see Saka unleashed. And मैं stats के बारे में बात कर रहे थे, right? 25 games last season इसीलिए खेला because he was overplayed and he got injured in the end, absolutely. And he had 6 goals and 10 assists. I know the previous season उसके बहुत बढ़िया numbers रहे. I understand 25 goals and assists and 25 goals and assists in the Premier League again. Fantastic numbers, by the way.
But he has to work touchline and compromise players like Odegaard. एक बात बोलूं मैं, I have total respect for Bukayo Saka, but he can never be a Mohamed Salah level player. With all due respect.
मैंने तो बोला है, मैं तो clear बोला. For me, Ashish, but he is not yet world class for me. Honestly, मैं बोलता हूँ, directly मैं बोलता हूँ, he is not yet world class, but he is the closest to being world class in that Arsenal team.
So Suchit and Arush, I'll go to Suchit first. What do you think of? मैंने एक बहुत ही खतरनाक discussion छेड़ ही दिया at this point of time because we have to start that conversation, right? I mean, Mourinho said in one of his really interviews, like if you're old enough, you're good enough. Good enough, you're old enough. So Saka has already had so much experience already in the Premier League. Now is the time, first of all, to be a better, fitter player this season. I know last 2 seasons he was absolutely the second. When you guys finished second, the previous 2 seasons you guys were absolutely cooked. But is this a criticism on Arteta to manage his minutes at this point for him to really reach that world-class levels? Don't you think?
So when you are the main player, like how Arteta said, you got to play every minute as much as possible, right? The criticism there is like how he's been overworked in terms of his work rate. At such a young age, you're like made to like defend at the same time, attack, and all the time the ball is on your side of the thing. So you're expected to create no matter what the situation is. That's what has been the criticism. That's why we've been sort of predictable on our end when it comes to attacking. Next thing, I think for the last 3-4 seasons, Saka never had somebody in the box wherever he cuts in and puts in the ball, right? It has always been somebody trying to crash into the box and somebody to score those goals. I think with the likes of Gyökeres there in the team right now, who's like a player who's known to be just a striker and not somebody like a makeshift midfielder like.
मैंने निकाला नहीं, वो खुद गया. मैं क्यों निकालूंगा भाई? ये तो आ गया लो आरुष.
It's not like a makeshift.
मुझे लगा आरुष लाइक साला मेरे
प्लेयर के बारे में कुछ बोल दिया, मैं जा रहा हूँ यहाँ से.
I am leaving.
No, I got kicked out. So what did Sujit say?
No, I'm just saying that since he's the main player to bring out the attacking output for us, he has to play no matter what. And top of that, we never had a striker who's known to be just in the box, whereas we always had a makeshift midfielder who's known for crashing into the box, right? That's why his numbers are also not as great as it is supposed to be, because all those cut-ins, all those balls into the box, there's nobody to put that in consistently. So I think with the likes of Gyökeres added into the team, that will definitely change. And I think we got in Madueke. I do not agree with the fee, but that's how the market has been. With the likes of Madueke there, I think Ankit Bhai also knows like how much I rate the player, but the consistency has been an issue. Because last season, when he invited me on his stream, I told him the same thing. Bro, I really like him, but the consistency is lacking. I think with him coming off the bench and him understanding the importance of those playing minutes, he will definitely push Saka. At the same time, we'll be able to manage Saka's workload, in my opinion. And that's why I think...
I think he'll push even Arteta for me. For me, Madueke is that kind of character. Yeah. That if he doesn't play second game, 2 games, the third game, that he's coming knocking at the door. Obviously, Maresca didn't like that attitude, and he actually dropped him for a couple of games where he kind of apologized and came back. But that's the thing, right? As in, even there's an England place. Remember, not that he's competing with Saka for that England place, but he's competing for the one spot in the squad. And for me, that's a positive for Arsenal, because now you have someone apart from Martinelli and the Saka and the Trossard who can actually say, okay, I feel at least that I'm good enough to play. And you know what? He has an impact. But the funniest part is Madueke is not someone who is better off the bench, which is so surprising considering the profile of player he is, right? But he's actually having better numbers when he starts. And that's going to be interesting as, say, a Chelsea fan watching Arsenal now.
I think he's a बढ़िया player. Noni Madueke. But if you have to win a title, you don't buy a player like Noni Madueke, with all due respect.
Like you don't start players like Noni Madueke.
He's a backup, but he doesn't want to be a backup. That's the funniest
part. If you want to win the title, you don't buy players like Noni Madueke, with all due respect. I love that player. Badhiya talent hai. इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है, बट वो बंदा तुम्हें वैसा कोई प्लेयर नहीं कि जो आके तुम्हें टाइटल जितवा के देगा. Bukayo Saka for me is world class because अगर आर्सेनल प्लेयर नहीं होता ना, I would have taken him as a Salah replacement in 1 year's time.
Definitely.
उतना सही लगता है वो बंदा, ठीक है. But to ask उसके साथ अब प्रॉब्लम पता है क्या है? He has started way too young and he has been there at that highest level. Youngest, right? He has been performing as well. So now a lot of Arsenal fans are expecting Salah level performances from him. And people don't realize that Salah का वो पीक आया था 25-26 के बाद जाके, जब उसने ऑलमोस्ट रोम AS रोमा ज्वाइन किया था. उसका फिर वहां से वो पीक अपवर्ड ट्रेजेक्टरी, जब वो इटली का था, अपवर्ड ट्रेजेक्टरी स्टार्ट हुआ था. एंड साला इसका साका का बहुत पहले से स्टार्ट है. मे बी मैनेज हिज टाइम्स, मे बी उसकी गेम में कुछ ट्वीक्स कर जो कैन हेल्प हिम इंप्रूव अ वन बिट, कि एक लेवल और ऊपर जा सके. जो मैंने लास्ट ईयर साला के गेम में देखा, कोई बोला टच लाइन, साला भी पूरा टाइम टच लाइन ही घूम रहा था लास्ट ईयर यार. फिर उस बंदे ने
लास्ट ईयर तो पूरा टच लाइन पे था.
ठीक है, पीएसजी गेम में मेरी यही इशू था दैट ही इज ऑन द टच लाइन, अंदर आके क्यों नहीं खेल रहा.
आई थिंक दैट कमेंट वेयर इज दैट कमेंट, वेट हाँ, platform like Salah has to touch so okay, I don't agree for the second bit. I think I agree for the first bit where he's not platform like Salah, because last season
उसको प्लेटफॉर्म उस तरीके से करना है where he can give his output more in goals, because he's very clinical rather than creating. I still believe Bukayo Saka is way good in scoring goals, क्योंकि उसका क्लिनिकलिटी मेरे को बहुत अच्छी लगती है. उसको मतलब किसी प्लेयर की तरह प्रॉपर अपना वो बॉडी खोल के शॉट लेने का टाइम, इफ ही इवन इज हाफ क्या कहते हैं, हाफ बैलेंस ना, ही कैन टेक अ प्रॉपर शॉट और वो गोल होने के चांसेस भी होते हैं. आई स्टिल बिलीव ही कैन बी अ रियली गुड स्कोरर रादर देन बीइंग अ क्रिएटर. अभी उसको क्रिएटर जैसा रखा हुआ है उस टीम में. आई नो ही स्कोर्स अ लॉट ऑफ गोल्स एज वेल, बट देखते हैं हाँ यार बुकायो साका एक क्रॉस मारेगा एंड समथिंग कैन हैपन, राइट. तो उस पे वो सिरदर्दी डालनी है अगर ही इज रियली गुड एट क्रिएटिंग. तो वही बात है, अगर इस साल आर्सेनल टाइटल नहीं जीतेगी ना, मैं किसी प्लेयर को नहीं, आई विल ब्लेम आर्टेटा, बिकॉज़ आई स्टिल बिलीव सीजन बी ही टुक द प्रेशर एंड ही वाज पैसिव इन अ लॉट ऑफ गेम्स. एंड अगर इस सीजन भी वही हुआ ना, इफ ही इज पैसिव इन सम गेम्स वेयर यू गाइस आर विनिंग एंड आप आराम से पैसिव हो रहे हो, पास अराउंड कर रहे हो या डिफेंस पे ज्यादा फोकस कर रहे हो, आर्सेनल नहीं जीतेगी लीग.
Right, you need to really, and I think Arush again issue he'll be back again soon. But yeah, exactly, and this has been my criticism on Arsenal in terms of like the passiveness that you guys can have in certain games. And also I think Suchit, one more question for Arsenal to win the league, right, before we move on to Chelsea, right? I think a player of the year, everyone agrees on, like you, Zubimendi, Lala Boulder, Zubimendi. In my opinion, Bukayo Saka, I am appreciating that. I am predicting that he's going to be the player of the season, but I have criticism on that. Do you think that...
What is your criticism on that?
So my criticism on Saka is that whole around the Arteta situation. I'm criticizing rather more Arteta in this situation, that if he does not manage his game time well enough, and also the point which Lala mentioned around the passiveness of so in certain games that you become passive and then also you lose games, like sometimes essential points at home. Layered question ye hai in this is, in my opinion, if Arsenal does not have the drive to go and beat the likes of Liverpool and City away, they are not winning the league. Okay. What's your opinion on this?
I'll just say before that, जो last year शायद था ना, if I'm not wrong, where Arsenal went total defensive against City, where वो stay humble वाला scenario हुआ था, right?
First leg at Etihad, yeah.
फर्स्ट लेग में हुआ था, राइट. आई स्टे दिस वन थिंग, एवरीवन उस टाइम पे किसी ने मेरी मानी नहीं. एवरीवन वाज ऑन दैट हाइप ट्रेन. अरे वी डिफेंडेड अगेंस्ट दिस माइटी सिटी फॉर 45 मिनट्स, वी वर अ मैन डाउन. आई थिंक आई स्टिल बिलीव वहां पे अगर वो डिफेंड ना करके फ्रंट फुट पे खेलती ना, आर्सेनल हैड द कैपेबिलिटी टू विन दैट मैच. आर्सेनल हैड सिटी लिटरली आता ना, यहाँ गर्दन पे पैर रखा हुआ था आर्सेनल ने, जेन्युइनली बोल रहा हूँ. वी हैड द सेम सिचुएशन अगेंस्ट स्पर्स, इफ यू गाइस रिमेंबर, एंड जोटा, रेस्ट इन पीस, जोटा स्कोर्ड द विनिंग गोल. हमने लास्ट मोमेंट तक फाइट किया था. आई स्टिल रिमेंबर देयर दिस वन मोर मैच अगेंस्ट.
लेकिन ये तो हर सीजन का ना, इवन पिछले सीजन में भी, इफ यू रिमेंबर, द सेम थिंग हैपेंड इन मैन सिटी, दे सेलिब्रेटेड द ड्रॉ.
वो चीज, वो मेंटालिटी निकालो दिमाग से. व्हाई डू यू हैव टू सेलिब्रेट दैट ड्रॉ? क्यों करना है? हम
So I think
Spurs
Arteta has admitted in his correct me if I'm wrong, Suchit,
आज
कल के presser में he's admitted like we have to win a big trophy. No, that's it. He has actually said that openly.
और आज ऐसा स्टेटमेंट मार रहा है, keep digging
आज
digging
ही बोला
digging,
ना,
at
हाँ.
the end of the day you will find gold. Brother, you can pivot and find gold as well. It's not necessary to dig in one direction.
Right,
You
right.
can pivot and find gold as well.
Are
So
you seriously telling that you're comparing Spurs' defense to Man City's defense? Is that what you're doing?
last
Because
year Man City's defense was shit.
हाँ,
मैं
agreed.
genuinely बोल रहा हूँ, last year Man City was not good enough.
starting
That
out
was
this,
actually better if you think about it in
no,
games.
हाँ Suchit बोलो हाँ.
but
What's your हाँ
last season when we had to go there,
हाँ
Man City were on top of the game. Agreed that we got the red card early. No,
uh-huh.
we got the red card just before halftime. Agreed we went man down. Agreed we stayed too defensively. But I don't think it was completely like wrong in that, because whenever we tried to hit them on the counter, we were more threatening and we went there and almost scored as well. I think there were 2-3
That
chances
is
where
what
we
I'm
almost
telling
scored.
you. You had the upper hand in this game. Even if you had red card, I am telling you, you had upper hand in this in
We
that
did.
game.
We tried to go and counter. We were not clinical enough to score the goal. You guys were clinical enough to go score against
I
Spurs.
don't. So I
How
think
is it?
I got very passive in that.
So okay Suchit, what I'm going to mention is the context. Okay
Hmm.
It's not about that game that happened last year at Etihad. It's about the other two seasons that you guys went to the Etihad as
The
well.
mentality that you want to play on counter.
नहीं
Why?
मेंटालिटी की बात भी नहीं है. The thing is that
Last season, had we not gone one man down in that half, I'm sure we would have continued. And I almost
हाँ,
I've
you
said we
were
would
on
have
the
won the
top.
game. We
You
would
were
have
on the
gone
top.
and won the game.
Yes,
I'm not even kidding about that. It's
Right,
just that the red card has changed the complete output.
right.
That is the whole reason why we had to stick to counter attacking since the red card. And
Right.
we were not clinical enough to score that goal whenever we hit them on the counter.
Yeah. And Arush joined it like so. So my question was, does Arsenal need to go and show more ambition when you play against the likes of City and Liverpool away?
Hmm.
Or one comment, Joe, that I'm absolutely hearing every time is this one. You guys lost the league against the likes of the Evertons, the Fulhams, and the West Ham, that you could not close these guys off. Is this true though, or you really need to go and make a statement against the bigger teams away to absolutely create that threat? Just पे
Yeah,
Lala बोल रहे कि you should have more ambition, but I would like to hear from you on this.
No,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think
Rakesh,
our
okay.
ambition is quite clear against the big six sides. May it be at home, may it be away, our record speaks for itself. You can argue that we've seen out games as draws when we needed to get wins, but no, that is not our major issue. Our major issue is that comment that said that we can't beat the low blocks that we face
Exactly.
against sides like West Ham, Fulham, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
What is the issue there is that when you get a cramped up space, you don't have players to play between the lines. And the players
Right.
that play between the lines, when they get the chances, they fluff their chances.
Hmm.
That is our issue. Our issue is not seeing out games against the biggest clubs. You
Right.
see the games against Anfield we played I don't know if it was, I think the game at the Emirates against Liverpool where we were winning.
Right.
We had 3 injuries in the back line in one game. Our defense ended with, I don't know whom started. We
We
had
had
MLS.
मैच
MLS
होने से
Xavier.
पहले हमारे भी 3 प्लेयर्स इंजर्ड थे उसमें. मेन 3
भाई.
प्लेयर्स हमारे भी नहीं थे ऐसा तो.
Fair enough. I didn't give that as a reason to Liverpool not actually competing against Arsenal. I'm talking about Arsenal's perspective in that
Right.
game itself, as to how we finished the game as a defense.
Hmm.
More as to, I would say, a Madueke signing, which is being said to be more of pushing Saka towards the edge. We had Almighty Blues Car, this guy also say that we have Ankit Bhai say that Madueke is not someone that is going to be the most effective off the bench. But I would like to put it into Arsenal's perspective. Arsenal are going to bring him on in games where we're going to face those low blocks.
Yeah.
And him
You are
coming in from the
1-1
left.
stuck at 1-1 at Emirates and 65 minutes
Yeah.
हो गया है. You need some
And
extra
he's
flavor.
coming off the left, by the way. I don't
Yeah.
think he's going to come on for Saka right there in a Premier League game against a big club. Or even
Right.
against the club which is going to give us
No,
that.
he can come both, na? मतलब where Saka needs to be taken, where you have the lead, there also he can come on.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
also
yeah.
makes sense. That also makes
Yeah.
sense. See,
But
Right.
against low block, it's the
yeah, good.
directness. It's the directness.
Agreed.
It's the chaos that he just brings that I think that is what we lack. Because
Ability-wise, I
Martinelli
totally
can't.
agree with you. It's just the mentality,
Yeah.
whether he has that, मतलब he can keep that motivation to kind of be there, come for half an hour every game. That
Yeah.
I doubt, and that's up to Arteta, of course.
Yeah,
Fair,
I think
fair.
Arteta's biggest criticism has also been his game management, how he sees players because of the depth we've not had properly. Even when we do have, he hasn't used them. May it be a 180, may it be any player who is seen as the direct replacement in a game that can
Right.
actually force a issue in a game. But we
Right.
haven't
Right.
seen
Right.
that. Now that we have a good enough depth to actually compete, I
Right.
do hope that Arteta sees that as one of his major changes
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah.
been a criticism from every fan of the club.
Right. Right. Right.
Can you take
And
that comment
हाँ
behind the no
स्वप्निल
this?
का
Is it
हाँ
against
this one
United? Is this against United?
this okay yeah United fan
Is he being for real? If you
no
guys saw that match, you saw how insanely stupid our finishing was that day. We created close to like 12 chances. We didn't score jack shit. On that day, probably you could have found oil in like in a garden in your backyard rather than scoring a goal that day. There is no chance that day we were scoring any goals. I didn't
Uh,
understand this comment. What
don't take it
हाँ
seriously. I'll agree with Arush 100%. Because
हाँ
against big teams, I think Arsenal, other teams can't speak, in my
Hmm,
opinion.
right
Right? Most of the teams can't speak. Let's put it that
hmm,
way. Against big teams, Arsenal have actually done very well.
हाँ
hmm,
Let's be
and that
hmm,
and यहाँ पे stat इसने भी डाला था प्रमोद ने right now if
hmm,
you see points won by Arsenal against traditional top 6
hmm,
6 point and then 19 and then
hmm,
12 and then 12 so I think their
hmm,
best season was that 2022-23 season where they were
hmm, hmm,
absolutely playing the best football in my
hmm.
opinion
And
for
who did
Arsenal
we lose the league to those games?
Man City.
West Ham,
Man City
Everton, Fulham.
Everton
Yeah.
Aston Villa home right
Hmm.
those games as
And
well like
also adding to Arush, right? Last season we didn't have somebody who can unlock that those low blocks and mid blocks.
mm,
23-24 season we had Jorginho who was helping in those games, like in
right
Newcastle who used to like cramp us for space, or against or West Ham as well, or even those other teams. Yes, we did lose against Aston Villa and such teams, but we didn't have a player like that who consistently kept doing that, who had the legs to keep doing that consistently.
कुछ कुछ
Last
आने
season we lacked someone like a Jorginho. This
mm.
season, I feel with someone like a Zubimendi and like how Arush said with Madueke, I think we will create that chaos and like someone like Yorker who keeps
And I
running at
think
a defense. I think that will change, in
And
my
with
opinion.
Zubimendi, I think the pressure will be very less on Odegaard to drop deep
Hmm,
and create and progress deep. I think Odegaard
hmm,
will play much in a higher end of the pitch. Okay,
hmm,
questions to everyone again before we go to Chelsea right now. We
hmm,
have to also talk about Chelsea as well. Ankit Bhai is absolutely here as well. So Zubimendi
hmm.
is your player of the year, Suchit. In my opinion, he's
No
going to be
doubt.
the player of the year. Arush, you are going for Zubimendi as well. Lala, you are also going for Zubimendi
the
as well.
whole team, no, whole team.
okay. No team will play Zubimendi.
Genuinely
Fair,
whole
fair. I'm going with Bukayo Saka. I think this will be the season where he wins the player of the season. In my opinion, I think this
player
is
of
the
the season. मैं अभी बोलता Florian Wirtz.
Florian words. आएंगे उस पे आएंगे. We'll talk
हाँ
about
मतलब
Florian
अभी
words.
आर्सेनल का बात कर रहे थे इसलिए आई थिंक
हाँ
दैट वाज द
इसमें
क्वेश्चन.
हाँ. So only Arsenal player of the season
Oh,
in my
अच्छा.
opinion. Arsenal player of the season. So I'll go for Bukayo Saka. Ankit bhai, what's your take before we go to Chelsea?
I would like to stick with Declan Rice. For me, he's got to do both the things, and I think that's the well, he is the key who could do literally everything on the pitch.
Right. Don't forget Norgard. Norgard is, I think we discussed yesterday, Lala. Right? Norgard is one of the most underrated signings that Arsenal ever made in terms of like at least backup rakhne ke liye. But that comes to the next point, bhai. We should talk about Chelsea. I think, Ankit bhai, question is, I think Chelsea is definitely in the mix as an outsider to win the Premier League.
हाँ मतलब
Right?
you can say that definitely yes. Outsider, one of them जो surprise team हो सकती है इस बार could be Chelsea, which again was technically last season as well if you hear Arne Slot, but
Right.
इस बार realistic है थोड़ा. Yes.
Okay. Fair. Lala, आप कितने मिनट हो और right now?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. ठीक है. तो we'll shift to Liverpool. Quickly Chelsea का भी कर लेते हैं, and then we'll come back to other Chelsea topics as well. City topics भी बात करेंगे. Lala, question to you right now as well. Right now, before I jump to Ankit bhai right now, Chelsea player of the year, like who is the most? Palmer तो है ही, चलो ठीक है. Palmer को छोड़ के, right? If I completely not talk about Cole Palmer, we talk about the other players in Chelsea. Who is the most vital player in Chelsea कि इसका perform करना बहुत ही ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है this season for Chelsea to even come close to a title challenge?
Joao Pedro.
Yeah, same. Joao Pedro for me. I mean,
Joao Pedro.
it was unreal like how he scored those goals in that.
Right.
I've always rated him highly. I think he has that Bobby region in him. I think
Right.
उतना intelligence तो नहीं है, but I think quality is
Right.
there. Top notch
Right.
quality है. But उसका सबसे बड़ा issue यही है that when he gets injured for a longer time.
Absolutely.
When he stays fit, and he is consistent. बहुत brilliant. ये तो पता है, ये इनको करना ही पड़ेगा.
Right.
But Joao Pedro up top, he has to perform. He has to.
And then Ankit bhai, I think I'm getting a lot of comments of Caicedo in this opinion. I know Palmer is the marquee player, and Lala mentioning that Joao Pedro, the new signing, might actually be the game changer. But I'm seeing a lot of comments of Caicedo. In my opinion, as well, Caicedo is the most important player for Chelsea. Not even last season, I think this season. आपका सबसे वाइटल प्लेयर कौन है चेल्सी में?
मतलब मैं तो भाई अनटोल्ड ब्रांड एम्बेसडर हूँ मोइसेस कैसेडो का. मतलब 2-3 गाने बना दिए भाई. टू बी ऑनेस्ट, मतलब मैं अभी भी आई स्टिक टू इट. ही इज द बेस्ट डिफेंसिव मिडफील्डर इन द वर्ल्ड now that Rodri is injured. I know Declan Rice is very close, but I think he is that level. And इतना important है that Moses Caicedo नहीं है ना चेल्सी में. मतलब एक नी पकड़ता है ना हम लोग का, मतलब सब चीज हार्ट फेल होने के मतलब तैयार रहते हैं हम लोग. That is how important he is, and I totally agree with the comment. And Moises Caicedo is basically engine of Chelsea right now. If you ask me, right, I would name 4 players actually who's literally forming a core. ना हम बना रहे. I know generally core शुरू होता है goalkeeper से, but हमारे केस में थोड़ा अलग है. So that core Moises Caicedo, that obviously you guys have already discussed briefly. I think Mark Cucurella, जो apparently आज ही agree किया for an extension, he is that guy. And again, दोनों का kind of redemption हुआ है and how it happened. Think about that. The third guy, which I think a lot of people miss out generally, जब मैं सुनता हूँ बाकी podcasts and generally all the pundits so called, I don't know why अब इतने signings करते हैं हम लोग 11 बना रहे हर टीम का. Everyone is happily removing this guy from the 11, which is shocking. And for me, he was the best player at the Club World Cup. He was arguably the best player of this calendar year along with Moises Caicedo, which is actually Pedro Neto. Pedro Neto basically इतना work it लाता है ना, that rubs on. कहीं ना कहीं जो Gallagher midfield में था ना, which we miss until Caicedo got this form. Pedro Neto is that guy on the wing, up and down. उस wing में और इस wing में Cucurella and बीच में Caicedo. So these three make that engine, and that is why Cole Palmer is able to work that he is. That is why Joao Pedro basically has more probability to score your goals. But again, going back to Joao Pedro का जो नाम लिया था, I think Suchit etc. ने, I believe it's right. Just like what I said about Gyökeres for Arsenal. Joao Pedro could be that missing piece that Chelsea are looking for, because quite infamously हमने बहुत सारे chances miss किए. Nicholas Jackson big up front, और this guy is a natural. Yes, of course, थोड़ा बहुत injury prone, like Nicholas Jackson, even he's prone to cards. That's the thing that I fear, that अगर ज़्यादा cards ले लिया है, is Delap good enough? Say for example, अगर sudden से knockout stages of Champions League में खेले, I have my doubts if you ask me. That is the Achilles heel possible.
Right. Before Lala leaves ना, so Chelsea वापस आएंगे, ठीक है ना? आप तो हो अभी फिलहाल, तो Lala might leave, right?
That was good enough.
Right. We'll come to Chelsea, guys, but since Lala has to leave soon, we'll definitely have to talk about Liverpool, because Liverpool का match है आज against Bournemouth. It's a massive game. यहाँ पे I have kept some names, Lala, right now, right? Not the most latest signing apart from Florian Wirtz. Let's come back to the basics again. The likes of Salah, McAllister, Van Dijk. Who, in your opinion, is gonna be your player, the most vital player of Liverpool this season, apart from Mohamed Salah? McAllister, right?
McAllister, no, I would say number 1 Gravenberch and then McAllister.
ये दोनों का चलना it will decide your season, is what you're saying, right? So McAllister, yeah, I mean, एक question है Lala उसमें, right? I know Gravenberch was fantastic last season, right? And मैं बाकी लोग का भी opinion लूँगा इस पे. Do you think McAllister's performances went under the radar last season?
No, not at all.
Compared to Gravenberch?
नहीं, बिल्कुल भी नहीं. Rivals के सामने, maybe yes, they would have known Gravenberch, because no one expected to play him that role. But as Liverpool fans, हमें पता है जब even if Gravenberch is playing and McAllister is not playing, the midfield is all over the place, no control, कोई tempo चलाने का नहीं भाई, क्या चल रहा है क्या नहीं, कोई अता पता नहीं होता.
लला फाइनली मुझे रेट मिलता है. 2-3 साल से बोल रहा हूँ मैं, Gravenberch could play that role. I was laughed at, bro, and the guy is proven
he can easily play that role. He can easily play that role.
Suchit, Liverpool's player of the season this year, like the most vital player that, like Liverpool cannot live without him not performing, apart from Salah though.
I think in attack they have done insane amount of recruitment now with the likes of Isak also coming in. It has to be someone like a Gravenberch or Van Dijk for me, because defensively I still think they're lacking, like how Lala has been saying constantly on Twitter and on his streams as well. I think they do need another centre back who can help out Van Dijk from time to time. At the same time, I think I'm genuinely surprised that they've not gone for a CDM. In my opinion, I'm genuinely surprised. I get Gravenberch can play, but it's not like a CDM, right? It's like somebody like you make it's like a makeshift CDM for them, or somebody who's like defensively playing there. So I think
Like
that
to
is
give them
because
the tactical flexibility, it would have helped.
Yeah.
No, but वही
Arush,
बात है ना, even if we suppose everyone is saying कि आपने it's with the Liverpool fans as well, but my one point is we have 7 midfielders in our team right now. ठीक है, 7. Curtis Jones, McAllister, Soboslai, Endo, Gravenberch, Train Ione, Stephen Bajcetic, 7 midfielders.
7 midfielders.
Gravenberch right now is playing that position. If we bring in Wharton or Baleba, suppose those are the 2 guys talked about a lot in Premier League and link हो रहे Liverpool के साथ भी. But क्या बोल के मैं Gravenberch को बिठाऊं? It's be like हरामजादों, मैंने last season I was the player you guys मेरी वजह से I was in one of the most integral parts that went on and won the title. मेरे को किस basis पे आप बिठा रहे हो?
Yeah, then Words को sign नहीं करना था, which is again obviously given a choice you'll take Words.
Yeah, and यहाँ पे Arnav का question है, right? I think Van Dijk will be crucial. I think before I jump to Arush, Lala, I'll ask you this question since it's very Liverpool specific, right? And बाकी सब पे भी आएंगे. Do you think? Okay, I think personally, definitely that Van Dijk, right? Van Dijk has still got at least 2 to 3 easily good years in him, right? But there has been also narratives that fans narratives हो गए, आपके rivals narratives हो गए. No, Van Dijk might not reach the levels that he used to, based on some of the preseason performances जो दिखे हैं. What do you think Van Dijk still has got it and will be the most vital player for you this season? या फिर
3 साल से लोग बोल रहे हैं वैन डाइक साला हगेंगे
नहीं
उनके
हो पा
मुंह से वो ही हग रहे होते हैं बाद में जाके उनकी टीम में. वेरी सॉरी टू से, पीपल शुड अंडरस्टैंड वैन डाइक 2.5 हफ्ते के लिए बीमार था. ही वाज इल फॉर 2.5 weeks एंड ना के बराबर प्री सीजन गेम्स खेली. हाउ डू यू एक्सपेक्ट हिम टू बी एट इट्स बेस्ट यार प्री सीजन गेम में? एंड अगर हगना है, कम्युनिटी शील्ड इज द मैच जहां तुम हग लो, सीजन में नहीं.
right.
If he plays good today, I'm fine. और मुझे आज मैं लिख के देता, I think Liverpool एक गोल तो बहुत आराम से खाएगी और वो गोल वैसा होगा कि everyone fuck. Even if Liverpool जीत गई है, defensive structure नहीं है, defense is all over the place. वैसा ही होगा. अभी भी I don't think so इस मैच में defense उतना अच्छा होगा. But I think Van Dijk easily 2 साल तो इस टीम के साथ निकाल लेगा.
Right. Arush, what's your...
We have players जो from this season, if we bring in Mark Guehi as well, we need to give Van Dijk rest क्योंकि enough is enough यार. You can't
enough
expect
is enough. You cannot expect him.
50
Exactly.
matches.
Yeah.
Exactly. And definitely coming off from that ACL that he had, why it's not easy to play week in, week out and perform in that the same levels as well. We have to realize that as well. बहुत जरूरी. And Arush, what do you think is Liverpool's most important player this season? And a layered question is, like, from whatever you have seen from Jeremy Frimpong over the years, right? Do you see him as a big asset or one of the most, जो बोलते हैं like एक खुली है एक door where people can absolutely enter and absolutely exploit Frimpong's role and that position? 2 questions on you. Answer if you can answer that in summary.
I think most important player, I'll go for a most underrated player. I think Dominic Szoboszlai is going to be my pick for Liverpool.
Yes, sir.
Lala
Sir.
obviously knew. Lala saw this coming. We've had Virgil van Dijk, we've had Salahs, we have pressure on Wirtz to actually deliver. But I think Szoboszlai is going to take up everyone's pressure and deliver for each one of them. I think that is
100%.
what Szoboszlai is, and he has shown it in the Community Shield. Even without a midfield, without Gravenberch, I think he was there, and he made his presence felt there.
And absolutely
for
people
Frimpong,
and to add to your point, right, before you jump, Szoboszlai's box to box role is so crucial for Liverpool. I also see him, and Lala के साथ मैंने बहुत बार बात की है. I also see Wirtz and Szoboszlai starting together in lot of the games because of the opposition.
4-3-3 proper खेल सकते हैं.
Right. And Arush continue. Yes.
Frimpong, I think he is going to be lethal. Lala, is he going to be starting majority of the games?
If Bradley is fit, no. If Bradley is not fit, yes.
I would see him as a game changer then. Say off the bench, I think he's going to be very crucial to actually hit the side with width. I think he has a lot of intensity in himself to actually even track back. He might not be the best defender there, but I think what he gives in order as a personnel, I think something very similar to what Ankit Bhai said of Pedro Neto. I think this is something very similar for Frimpong to actually
urgency,
deliver.
Hmm.
that
Yeah.
that
Hey,
like
उसकी
coming up and
pace,
down the flanks.
मैं उसकी pace देख के the way he was tracking back मैं डर गया भाई.
Right.
इतना तेज.
काफी तेज
Yeah.
है. I think it can go two ways, right? Either the defense absolutely get exploited down that right, or
Hmm.
his link up with Salah will complement so well in terms of overlap
Hmm.
and underlap. It's gonna be
Hmm.
insane for the defenders to handle.
See,
So that's
Yep.
Frimpong is not a good defender, but slot अगर उसकी one-on-one defending थोड़ी सी improve कर देगा, he'll be fine.
he'll be fine, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And इस पे I think Pramodini for me Kirkes. And Kirkes is again like okay, very young signing, very Robertson-ish player in terms of how he underlaps and overlaps as well, right?
Hmm.
Question for everyone, and I'll start with Lala, right? Do you see now Robertson is there, right, as the mentor? Kirkes, how much will Kirkes feature this season? Do you see him starting more games? Yeah, you'll still feel that he might be still an understudy to Robertson. Robertson actually play more European games.
Kirkes will play all the maximum of the matches. I would say uh, all the Premier League matches for sure.
Hmm.
Maybe Akhri give 10-15 minutes or slot might give him a rest.
Hmm.
But I think he's young.
Hmm.
I think he has the talent. He's raw Robertson, I would say.
Right.
And he will play all the games. वो उसको bench पे बिठाने के लिए नहीं लाए हैं.
Right.
He's here to play. And वो दिख गया in every possible big preseason game he was starting the games.
Right.
I think already there's a good amount of link up between Words, Kirkes and Ekitike. वो first half में भी दिखा, so he's going to play a lot of games.
And I think Lala, defensively, I fear as an opposition or as a neutral, I say that I commend Liverpool क्योंकि अगर मार्क गेही को आप ला देते हो तो डिफेंसिवली also there will be certain portions of the game or certain game जहां पर आप 3 at the back भी जा सकते हो.
3 at the back कभी नहीं होगा. 3 at the back कभी भी नहीं होगा क्योंकि guarantee
100% होना चाहिए when you are obviously in the lead and when you have Mark Gehi also in and you got to defend the lead, which is where Liverpool on the counter can be beaten. Kirkes and Frimpong give you that counter-attacking ability to the next level as a wing back when you want to rest Salah and Frimpong can cover that right space and then you have a Mark Gehi covering the third. अगर आप
मैंने last season
2-1 पे beat कर रहे हो in a top game
कर रहे थे.
क्या
जब हम game chase कर रहे थे मैंने तभी देखा था. Other than that, 3 at the back.
Have you seen Feyenoord games every game, by the way? Just asking.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because I have also seen, I have actually seen Arne Slot go that way in games where he actually led to one, being a Dutch fan and a Eredivisie fan. He's actually done that in certain games
where he was there. Where he was chasing the game.
And I like
to protecting the lead rather on the other hand.
But I'd like to add a point on Kirkes is the crossing. He close to had 125 crosses last season.
Yeah.
With fantastic accuracy. So crossing from a crossing POV, Kirkes is looking very, very dangerous for Liverpool at this point. Again, a question comes there, right? And I'll ask this to Suchit now, right? Liverpool's player of the season. Like I know Arush has mentioned names, Lala has mentioned names, I have mentioned names. Who do you think like crucial kadi kaun hai is team pe? Like who's the
Hello?
Yeah. All good.
Yeah. So could you repeat? It was you said Suchit and after that I didn't hear anything.
Okay. No, question to you, Suchit, was that who's the most important player for Liverpool apart from those names that have been mentioned? And do you see what are the different issues that you see in the current Liverpool squad right now with the current lot of players?
Do we add Isak in this conversation or do we like just
Let's assume he's not there. Let's assume he's not there right now.
He's not
assume क्या है ही नहीं. Assume क्यों करना है?
Out of syllabus.
That's a Baliba is out of syllabus for us right now. Baliba gone, guys.
But Isak is still possible, na? Unlike Baleba. But I'm sorry.
He isn't a Liverpool player, no, but
True. I think for them, they've been missing a striker from Nunez kind of situation, right? I think Ekitike, at least the goal that he scored against Crystal Palace was like scintillating to watch. It's such a good curler. I get it. He will be someone who people think that he's like underrated. I think he's still underrated. We have seen PSG fans shit on him online saying, "Oh, I can't believe Liverpool spent this much money on him and all that." But Arush and I made a scouting video, and that's when we felt maybe one more season, had he stayed away from spotlight and developed, that could have happened. I think for Liverpool, like how Arush has been saying for a while, Ekitike is somebody people should not underestimate at this point, because I rate him highly. I seen him someone like in Isak region as well, someone who's like clinical, somebody who's like aesthetically good to watch as well, and I think he will add a lot of goals that Liverpool have been lacking. Do I think that he will be the main guy this season? I do not think so yet. I think
Callister, Soboslai and Wirtz are starting today's match. Midfield team
हाँ.
sheet.
टीम आ गई
लीक हो
And
गई
who's
मतलब
the six?
लीक हो गई ओके
Six
टीम
कौन
इज लीक
खेलेगा?
It's Alisson, Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkes, McAllister, Soboslai, Wirtz, Salah, Gakpo, Ekitike. Pretty much the same team.
Gakpo.
Gakpo, हाँ.
मैं वही बोल रहा था, अभी हम लोग
हाँ.
आधे घंटे तक बात कर रहे थे, एक बंदा का नाम किसी ने लिया, मेरा चांस
Gakpo, yeah.
Gakpo, yes, I was coming there.
That was the point I was coming to. Like last season. No, I'm serious. Because last season when Salah was not scoring those goals, it was Gakpo who was coming and scoring, right? So
I know what, Sachin, the whole point is Liverpool have lost Diaz, and people forget so soon.
Yeah.
And the guy who will actually give you width and directness from the left-hand side will actually be Gakpo. मतलब direct shots on goal बोल दो, winning headers, those long diagonal Hollywood passes of Van Dijk बोल दो on left channel. Gakpo has to be the guy for me. If Gakpo works, Liverpool is winning the league.
Fair.
I don't agree to that. Sorry.
I am not surprised either, Lala. Don't you
I like the player. I think शायद Ash bhai को बोला. I think after Salah, Gakpo is the one who hits the ball with venom and with that clinicality.
That player has grown over the years in Liverpool.
You can't trust me on that. You can't rely on that player for 38 games. He is almost there, but he's not an elite player.
Lala bro, that's the thing, right? Now you have Ekitike who can come and score those goals as well. Gakpo doesn't have to take the full responsibility to score those
Come
goals.
on, man. Guys, come on. So, Lala, I've heard you entire last season. Sorry to cut you, but entire last season I've heard you kind of not rate Luis Diaz, and I know as a fact. At the same time, Gakpo, once again, let me complete.
Actually, hold on.
Guys, goals में clinicality उसकी कम थी. But
बड़े लोग को बात करने लो, मैं चुप रहता हूँ.
Everyone knows मेरे चैनल पे कि I rate him very highly. मेरा इशू उसके साथ यही था कि उसकी clinicality में प्रॉब्लम थी. But जो वो डायमेंशन ऑफर करता था, Luis Diaz was that kind of a player. अगर opponent की टीम ने हमें पिन किया हुआ है ना, he used to take the ball. वो 30-40 यार्ड का वो जो रन मारता था ना, टीम से प्रेशर हटाता था. Gakpo से वो नहीं देखने को मिलने आना. Last year different type के दोनों players थे. That is the reason we were comfortable on left.
Right.
You are telling me you are going to trust on Ekitike more than someone who's won you the league.
No, I've never said. मैंने बोला ही नहीं ऐसा कि मैं Ekitike पे ज्यादा भरोसा कर रहा हूँ. मैं तो बोला ही नहीं ऐसा अभी.
तो कौन लेफ्ट साइड में कौन खेलेगा?
That is the reason मैं तो बोल रहा हूँ. I need a left winger जो या फिर दोनों spaces चाहे वो
left winger as a starter right now as a left winger.
Right now I don't have any other option. Ankit भैया.
Wow.
Gakpo के अलावा
I don't agree, but I respect that opinion if you have that. But I don't.
Gakpo is not that kind of a player over the period of 38 games who can help us win the league. Trust
but
me.
You have the depth, right?
Do you think Rio will get? Do you think Rio will get the chances to play on the left wing this season?
Gakpo, yeah. Till the time we don't get one more attacker, Gakpo is the one who is going to play left wing. We don't have any other option.
Bro, far too underrated, man. Gakpo is far too underrated.
Gakpo, I think Lala, all due respect, मैं थोड़ा सा उसमें disagree करूँगा. But Gakpo, but because I definitely saw Gakpo being one of the. I know Luis Diaz was the best option in the left wing. I think उसको बहुत हर जगह से use किया गया. He's played center forward. He's made fantastic 50 से 60 उसके tackles interception रहे हैं Luis Diaz के. I get all that point. But from a pure attacking POV, right? When Gakpo was missing against PSG. You guys missed that X factor in the Champions League. आप उस पे agree करोगे कि नहीं?
No.
नहीं? You are fine without Gakpo in those two legs.
I love him क्योंकि उसके पास जो capability है ना to cut inside on the right hand side to take that shot. He's predictable but he's very good at it. क्योंकि वो shot बहुत मैंने अगर बोल रहा हूँ that after Salah he's the most clinical player जिस तरीके से वो shot लेता है. It's absolutely amazing, but I still believe उसके पास वो work rate नहीं है. Over the period of 38 games, जो Luis Diaz के पास work rate था.
हाँ, fair.
मेरा Luis Diaz से वही issue था. He does everything. Goals के time पे जब आता है ना उसकी clinical decision making में खराब हो जाता है. Gakpo की decision making is amazing, but
लेकिन
Gakpo
physicality तो है भाई. He'll win you a lot of balls on the left channel, right?
it is not as good as Luis Diaz. And मेरा वो issue है.
Yeah, of
You tell
course.
me, Gakpo के ऊपर upgrade नहीं मिलेगा market में. जिस तरीके से हम अभी team
Yeah,
बना रहे हैं
मैं
ना.
तो shocked too. मैं तो Luis Diaz को I'm shocked that Liverpool have let him go, especially when you don't have someone who can clearly play there. But to say that Gakpo is not your at this point in time, मतलब the guy that for me, देखो Salah तो you know that you get 8 out of 10 performances week in week out, more or less, right? Unless I know कुछ keyboard warriors बोलते हैं अलग. But I genuinely believe that if Gakpo का season अच्छा रहे, Liverpool का season अच्छा रहेगा. Is that important for Liverpool?
Fair. मैंने थोड़ी बोला अच्छा नहीं रहेगा. He
That was actually my statement,
one
Lala.
of the best players pre-season में. Community Shield में भी he was good. He's great. But अगर आपको 38 गेमें उठा के देखनी है ना, उसका ड्रॉप आता है.
आता है एक फेस पे तो ड्रॉप आता है डेफिनेटली.
बहुत और ड्रॉप उसका गंदे वाला ड्रॉप आता है. बाद में उसका देखने को मिलता है. वही इशू है मेरा उससे.
And that's what with the likes of Ekitike there and probably even Isak coming in,
it'll be better.
I think the load on Gakpo to perform or to score those many goals apart from Salah will be reduced. That was the point I was coming to when I said that Ekitike is there, but
I still
Gakpo is
wanted a proper left winger there जो Gakpo पे upgrade हो. But let's see क्या होता है.
भाई जो आए हो चैट में काफी लोग आए हैं. लॉट ऑफ पीपल आर कमिंग. थैंक यू सो मच भाई. जो देख रहे हो, सब्सक्राइब टू ऑल द 3 channels. It's in the title. Ayush Lala, Almighty Blues, Football Showdown, and also follow Arush on Twitter as well. Fantastic scouting network reports. Do check him out as well. Lala, question right now. From the current squad right now, in terms of depth हो गए आपके, right? In terms of the playing 11, do you see already that Liverpool has the better squad than Arsenal? Yes, you see that Arsenal signings have, like Zubimendi is going to be the bigger factor than all of your other signings.
No, that I can't comment on it if Zubimendi is going to be a biggest factor, but I still believe that Arsenal ki squad in terms of depth is better than us. In terms of playing 11, first 11, I think we have 19-21 का डिफरेंस है. आई थिंक हम थोड़ा सा ऊपर हैं, बट अगर डेप्थ भी इंक्लूड करनी है, डेप्थ नहीं है. डिफेंस में दे हैव मस्केरा एज वेल. दे गोलकीपर भी है, अच्छा सीन था, वो भी उठा के ले आए. दे हैव डेप्थ इन अटैक एज वेल, midfield as well. We don't have that. We don't have that.
Right. Suchit, counter. So Suchit, what's your thing on this?
Lala bro's gimmick. At this point, I'm not falling for this entire season. Congratulations, Arsenal. Congratulations. I'm not falling for this gimmick this season.
आरुष को पता है मैं आपको एक gimmick नहीं कर रहा हूँ. I told him before the match, pre-season जब चल रहा था, we are not good at defense, and he agreed. Community Shield का match देख के.
No, the only difference I see between this debate is that the difference is Liverpool wants defensive depth, Arsenal want attacking depth, and we don't have that at all. You can say that Madueke is seen as a left winger, but he's actually a right winger. Our biggest issue from last season has been the left wing. We have addressed the center forward now. That is great in its sense, but we still don't have the numbers in order to call it depth attacking wise. So I think it's a good debate to have over the season. We'd understand how much is each player from that depth going to perform for their side.
Right.
And then we could decide equally. But yeah, it's good.
When is the Arsenal versus Liverpool game at the Emirates? Is it like the in the end or like is it like...
I think jaldi hone wala. I think Liverpool. When is Liverpool playing Arsenal?
Fourth game,
third or fourth game.
That is the game at Anfield. I'm talking about the game at the Emirates.
Emirates, no, I have no idea. I have to check that one. Liverpool should go for Rodrigo than Isak.
यार रॉड्रिगो पता है रियलिस्टिकली एक ही टीम है इंग्लैंड में जो उसको ले सकती है, दैट इज मैनचेस्टर सिटी, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज ट्रांसफर फी, बिकॉज ऑफ एजेंट्स बीइंग इन्वॉल्वड, बिकॉज ऑफ हिज वेजेस एज वेल. और कोई क्लब आर्सेनल
वेजेस तो लिवरपूल भी दे रही है आजकल. आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स एन इशू.
राइट.
सॉरी,
wages to Liverpool भी दे रही है आजकल. I don't think that's an issue.
Three agents Ankit bhaiya, 3 agents are involved.
Yeah, but I think if you add up the wages and the fees that Liverpool have,
का deal जा रही है.
I think you are good in PSR. I think you can do that. It's just that
but 250 million तक का deal हम नहीं करेंगे.
हाँ, वही is it worth that
how
money
much was Diaz
alone?
on?
That is the whole point. I don't think it's the
how much is Luis Diaz
at all.
70, 120.
120. He was on 120.
Nunes
170, 160.
You know how much Luis Diaz is on Bayern Munich? He's at 269k right now.
Still almost वो average से भी नीचे आता है उसमें शायद से.
Right. He's on 269. Rodrigo
Mason Mount level Ashish.
हाँ, Mason Mount level 250k guys.
I know he's a great player. I love him. Rodrigo is a great player.
Right.
300k.
But is he that worth?
450 लिवरपूल ने साला को दिया इतना गांड घिसाने के बाद 300 उसको ऐसी थमा देगी, नहीं देगी यार, कोई तो बात.
Fair. No, that's a fair. I think Rodrigo. I think that's a call that I would agree. Ki City looks like the most likely to land Rodrigo because अगर season उनका अच्छा नहीं गया तो Pep बोलेगा भाई मुझे checkbook निकाल के दो. I want to sign Rodrigo in January. Look at the signings they made in January. They absolutely signed 4 players to fix the squad as well. Absolutely. Words को 190 दे रहे हैं, which is a fair deal in my opinion. And this is what I want even United to do, is to add performance related clause to your wages, that if you reach our objectives, we'll give you the wage definitely. And okay, shifting from Liverpool right now, right?
I gotta go. Lunch.
You gotta go, man.
Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Thank you so much.
अरे मजा आया लाला भाई.
Take care everyone. Take care Aru. Take care Sujit.
All the best for the Liverpool game, guys.
Yeah, all the best for the Liverpool game.
Bye.
All lights are on Liverpool. Good luck.
Definitely. Cool. Back to Chelsea, guys. Now Lala is gone. Chelsea, guys, Lala ka channel bhi subscribe karo, guys. Everyone, we had a fantastic discussion. Chelsea Player of the Year, right? Do you think so? Ankit bhai, you were mentioning that Caicedo is your most important, but from a creative angle as well and a more box-to-box angle, don't you think Enzo Fernandez is the most crucial player for Chelsea?
I would have said that. I agree. I would have said that. लेकिन अभी squad management has improved of Maresca as well. तो मैं assume कर रहा हूँ कि there will be a lot of games जहाँ पर उसको rest मिलेगा, and there will be Andre Santos coming in, hopefully. क्योंकि Chelsea में I don't know if you have followed एक अलग ही मतलब again social media एक अलग ही level है of most of the clubs, not just Chelsea or Arsenal or Manchester United, but most of the clubs, right? But यहाँ पर there is a different fan base that Andre Santos has created even before actually playing for the main team. And you won't believe that, and for reasons that we know, because not just Brazil ke liye, at lower say age groups etc, but the guy is fantastically done in Liga mein uske numbers in almost every statistic is the best, and not just numbers,
right?
Crucial situation he stood up. So I think although he's a very different player than Enzo Fernandez, but the guy can come and almost do maybe not as better or not as good as Enzo Fernandez, लेकिन ज़्यादा चीजें कर सकता है than Enzo Fernandez on the pitch, and that will give you the flexibility, tactical flexibility that Maresca has thankfully brought in recently. तो इसलिए Caicedo, I know Esugo is there, लाविया तो भाई खुद ही मतलब गेस्ट अपीयरेंस अभी लाला है ना, तो बोलने वाला था भाई लाविया है, लाला नहीं, तो फॉर मी दैट आई वाज व्हाट आई सेइंग, तो कहीं ना कहीं गेस्ट अपीयरेंस लगता है लाविया तो मेरे को, बट ग्रेट प्लेयर, बट आई वुड से Caicedo is indispensable for Chelsea. Matlab, Cole Palmer is the obvious answer, everyone knows that.
And Ankit bhai, the initial hate, and Arush and Suchit drop me in this, the initial the based on the price point, like Caicedo came with huge money pressure, right? And uska initial performance was not that good, and there was he was being battered, he was battered left, right, and center. And eventually, when he settled into a squad with a manager with a certain philosophy that actually works out for him, playing in the pivot alongside a very good workhorse like Enzo Fernandez, I think Caicedo felt much more in ease and comfort, right? Arush, if you think about the player as well, right now can we all say, I agree, he's the best defensive midfielder right now in the Premier League? Would you agree with the statement, or you think like Caicedo needs to do more for Chelsea at this point? Considering the season they had, right? Considering the season they had, out of nowhere qualified for Champions League, they were not tipped to do that based on the performance they had. They went on to have a Club World Cup win as well. Caicedo, your opinion, your thoughts.
Mute per Arush.
Mute pe bhai. Ruko,
I think he's imposed himself as one of the best destroyers in the league. For the price point, I think the noise was supposed to come regardless of him doing well. It's happened to the best of the best players. Caicedo, I don't really see things that he needs to improve on, but I think he can do his part in actually helping the rest out in that midfield as well. But the thing is that he needs consistency right next to him. It didn't come in the end of the season through Palmer. It didn't come through Enzo directly. But I think this guy is the solid figure. Like he said, he is the engine of the side that Ankit bhai said. And I really don't see him to have a bad season, because this is one player who's going to affect performances higher up. And Caicedo is just going to have like that underdog season. But
now that you just saying that, एक और चीज if I can add, I think अगर वो goals add कर लेना, which I know that अगर एक दो करता है तो बैंगर स्कोर करता है, वो भी एक चीज है, जो मैं Kovacic के बारे में बोलता था few years ago, right? As in,
Right.
there are certain aspects if he develops. No, I think he will be like one of the all-time greats already. So early in his career, not even played proper Champions League. I'm saying it, and it's huge. And this is coming from someone who has seen Declan Rice right from the academy days and who wanted Declan Rice. Imagine.
No, fair. And Suchit,
See,
what would you play?
As a pure CDM, I think we can agree that Caicedo has played as a pure CDM, right? I think in that way, the conversation can continue saying that Caicedo has been the best in the league. But like how Ankit Bhai, see, these days nobody is a pure CDM, right? They're expected to go. Yeah, everybody is expected to go higher up, to score goals, to create something, and all that, right?
To track back and everything.
As an overall player, so far we've seen Rice do things that nobody expected him to do. Everyone thought that he'll be that lone CDM. He's the one who like make those darting runs from deep if needed. But he's been played more up, and maybe this season could be something different with Zubimendi playing, like, switching places and all that. So that's why I still think Caicedo as a pure CDM has been very good. I think that conversation is right on so many levels. But that bias is always there in me, right? Like, yes, Caicedo has been very great defensively and has helped Chelsea in a lot of manners. Rice has elevated the Arsenal midfield by bringing in goals at the same time being defensively strong and here and there putting those line breaking or creating those chances for Arsenal as well. So that's why I think slightly Rice still has that edge over Caicedo.
Right. One more aspect is like the passing. Now I think someone in the chat was mentioning about Enzo Fernandez, right? I think that's if you really put me on the spot, if you put Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez's role, and I genuinely believe, I'm not saying nothing. Enzo is one of my favorite players as well, by the way. I think Caicedo is going to do better than Enzo Fernandez, and I mean it even in passing, even like line breaking passes. Some of the passes that he makes are unbelievable passes. Caicedo is so underrated in terms of passing. But you know what? Let's not go on. The reality is that we need to score goals. इतना भी एंजो और कैसेडो करे ना लास्ट में पामर और जॉ पेड्रो को स्कोर करने
एग्जैक्टली बिकॉज नेटो से वो नंबर्स नहीं आ रहे हैं आपको नेटो से आपको वो अग्रेसिवनेस मिल रही है दैट डार्टिंग इनटू इनसाइड द बॉक्स बट ओवरऑल हिस्टोरिकली एज वेल रूल्स के लिए भी उतने नंबर्स नहीं है ही हैज दैट एफर्ट दैट बॉल प्रोग्रेशन उसकी टॉप टियर है बट देन फाइनल थर्ड में आता है ना ही डज नॉट हैव दैट killer instinct to actually score more goals, right? So I think, in my opinion, and mera underrated thought, right? This season, I think it's going to be Kumar Kukureya, who is the most important player for you this season, considering you do not have much.
Kukureya khaya paya.
Kukureya is the Estrella. Okay, so that's going to be the most important player in my opinion this season, because and Ankit bhai, what's your left back, wing back, left back options आपके पास कितने हैं? How many good options do you have?
We are good this time. Left back, I don't think is a major concern. Hato, again, being an Eredivisie and being a Dutch fan, having scouted him for a good while, the guy is like ceiling. I'm talking about, I know Miles Lewis Kelly का conversation हमने किया नहीं था, but for me Miles Lewis Kelly level तक पहुंच सकता है in terms of what he really brings. He can do a lot of things, and especially I know a lot of people are talking about Vega, etc. Vega on the turn is a liability, and people have not seen that because he played for Juventus. Come on, Hato actually is better than Vega in that aspect. So for me, even if Kukureya, for example, खुदा ना करे अगर injured हो जाए, he's a very young guy, but he has a lot of experience playing general high-level football. I am confident generally, and again, Neto, he can play on the left wing, play as a wing back. We play the wing back system, the Club World Cup. Then Gusto plays on the right-hand side. I think we have a lot of options. इस बार options की कमी नहीं है, but the whole point is that you got to score your goals, and defense. I think right or central part of defense is a little bit concerned. If Series James becomes injured, if we don't get a centre back backup, जैसे Maresca ने बोला है for Tosin, because Colville getting injured, we can probably see that a lot of goals हम खाएंगे. That is only
definitely. And
I just had a question. Ankit bhai, how do you see y'all tackle the Colville injury, and what are the options that are planning to play at left centre back there?
See, firstly, like Maresca thankfully is corrected. Again, for people, feel free to check out. मैंने भी tactically I try to explain. Colville, very few systems he actually got dragged to a left centre back in a 3-back system in Maresca's new systems. And that's the key that Maresca has got, because आपको याद है तो Colville was almost exposed under Pochettino because he was lot of
Yeah.
times one-on-one against your right wingers of the opposition. You
Right.
clearly remember Watkins, etc., getting a near, a post shot, etc., and getting a goal. So those kind of things happen a lot, and that's
Right.
where Maresca has protected Colville, and middle se wo build karta tha. So left center back, actually Kukurea kind of in gameplay becomes a left center back at times, or for that matter, even there are games where say a Chaluba or say an Enzo Fernandez comes deep, those kind of things. They say almost like the how
But
Toni Kroos used to do for Real Madrid. Those kind of things happen, right?
but Badial,
Colville is
but
more central.
you don't expect those kind of thing in the center back position if they play with a 3-back. Badiashil doing that for you, right, this
हाँ
season.
तो
I think
बाडी
very
से
different profile.
भाई I am ready to sell him if you ask me,
Right.
right?
You have to.
अब
Right.
Maresca and the directors feel that he has lot potential.
Right.
I agree on the Potter for 6 months he looked very good, but
So
that's about it.
so उसपे
Solution
okay.
is Arush का question का जवाब, I think the answer is going to be Josh Achimpong in my personal
हाँ.
opinion. The guy is a baller. You need someone who can
Fantastic.
play out from the back. He's exactly that guy. Problem is he's too young to be given that authority. So right now I think Tosin ही करेगा.
Right.
So for that instance, don't you see Hato take over that, because he's
Hato
been
take over.
very, very good at
Yeah,
left center back
मतलब
as well.
in that position, if you ask me, I would have gone with Vega and forgiven him for off-field issues.
Right.
Because I think he has that height and heading ability, which probably Hato at this point in Premier
Yeah,
League
yeah.
is a little bit untested. Not that he doesn't have the ability. So more I'll be a little careful. Hato at this point in time is a left centre back backup for a Kukurea in a back three, the way that I see it rather, or a full back, right? That's what I see it.
Yeah.
But he could do for all we know. Josh Achimpong, Tosin, and Chaloba preseason में खेला है 2 games. So I
Fair.
think let's hope that is okay. But I still believe कि we will go deep into
Right.
center
Okay.
back.
So we have 2 more teams to cover. So फटाफट जाते हैं उस पे. So final thoughts, right? Ankit bhai, what do you so Chelsea मेरे हिसाब से looks like a very much formidable side in terms of the momentum, in terms of competing for the title. Where realistically you see Chelsea finishing? And the question, and quickly you have to answer because I have to switch to ManCity. Where do you realistically see Chelsea finishing in this league? Plus your player of the year.
See, my answer is that we will get disappointed at the end of the season, but because we'll just lose out on the title, and I feel we'll be runners up. That's my prediction at this point. I'm going by again. Disclaimer quickly. Isaac is not going to Liverpool. Remember that. That's my disclaimer, right?
Wow.
And Gehi as well. I'm going with what the current transfer window is. Player of the season for me, I think you guys have already got the answer for me. For me, breakthrough season, Joe Pedro. Player of the season, Cole Palmer again.
Cole Palmer. Okay. Arush.
I would say I would stay with what Ankit said. I think Cole Palmer is gonna just do it in the Champions League even more to show his presence on the European stage, and he's gonna get that. Yep.
Absolutely. Fair. And Suchit.
I agree. I agree with Ankit. I think they will finish third.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, I put Arsenal second.
I think. So yeah, so I actually think like ManCity is very dangerous, but again we are going to talk about ManCity as well quickly. I think Chelsea is going to finish third in the season. Liverpool winning the league. Arsenal still does not have that X factor lacking. I would love to see.
Achha, by the way, Ashish, you didn't take Arsenal's prediction, did you?
I did. I think. I did not. Okay, अभी ले लेते हैं ना.
मैंने तो नहीं बोला था. अच्छा मैं
अभी ले लेते हैं. चलो अभी ले लेते हैं. कोई नहीं. Thanks for reminding again.
So
now,
before people assume, I think people would have seen Almighty Blues already know it. Right. I'm again telling, as per current transfer window, I genuinely believe they're the most complete side, and I hate saying it, the Arsenal are winning the league. Chalo,
Arsenal winning the league? Okay, interesting. So, Suchit, like, where is same question for you guys again? Like, out player of the season, I know for you. Where realistically, now the season is starting. Do you really feel from inside? That Arsenal is gonna. This is it. This is the season that you will finally cross the line.
I wholeheartedly want to say yes, but that left wing situation has not been like properly solved, right? That's why
even from a neutral POV, bro. Even from a neutral POV, right? That's why I have been absolutely saying this since so long that you guys still have Martinelli. You got Madueke, but you had to go for Rodrigo this season.
See, if there's some signs of like some changes in the left wing side with Madueke coming, because reports were saying that he's not going to be completely Saka's backup, but he's going to be played as a Rafinha kind of left wing and all that. And if you saw some patterns of that, I would have been like a little bit more happier, and then I would have said, we're going to win the league. But I still don't get that confidence that something's going to happen from the left, because I'm a big Martinelli fan. People know that or wherever people have interacted with me, right? But
Right.
again, still he's having issues on the left hand side. There are. I mean, we can see patterns of how he can come centrally and score. I get all
Right.
of that, right? But still, I still think Martinelli as a bench option is a better thing.
Cool,
And
cool,
is
cool.
Madueke better as a left wing option? I'm still like, see, as per stats, as per reports, as per tacticos, as per friends who's been telling me, I completely agree. That is still possible. But
Right.
since that has not been seen visibly, I can't
Ah,
wholeheartedly say that that has been solved. So I still
right,
think
right.
we're going to finish second because of the left
Second.
wing issue.
Ayush, do you see Arsenal finally doing it, or do you see like again that left wing situation actually now that Eze is also linked to heavily to Spurs? What's your take on this?
I really want to say that I back my club and I will back my club to win the
Of
league. I
course,
think
of
we
course.
look much more balanced to actually what we were in the previous season, especially in the
Yeah.
areas that actually hit us, that is squad depth.
Hmm.
And I think the additions have been quality. Yes, the left wing issue is something that you just can't ignore because we know that our attacks majorly flow from the right and that puts extra pressure on Saka to deliver. In that sense, I would want our side to actually equate something through tactical changes and stuff like that. And I expect us to be ruthless in front of goal. I think we've lost the most points from winning positions, and that has been quite crazy for us. So,
Look at what has happened, guys. Here, Arush.
yeah, yeah,
We'll come to City.
quite
We'll come.
crazy.
I'll start this, but yeah, please continue. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. So I was just saying that I think if things fall into its place properly at
Mm,
the initial period of the season with the
mm,
Right.
fixtures that we have currently as well, I think we should be getting this over the line regardless of Liverpool, Chelsea, and stuff like that. Them all strengthening their side. I think we do have our chance because we didn't get to see the best of our base last season, and
mm.
that is my only hope to actually do the best for this season. So yeah, that is my perspective.
Fair, fair, fair. I think that's a fair. I think it's a wait and watch situation with Arsenal, right?
Mm,
Everyone knows they have got it. Will they cross the line? Will they actually cross that imposter syndrome? I would say to finally be the. I think once they become champions, I think there's no stopping them for a few more seasons. I think they
mm,
need to just cross that one line. And in my opinion, before I move to City, they
mm,
need at least a cup this season going into January, going
mm,
into the second half of the season.
mm.
Need a cup.
Yeah.
At least a good cup run definitely gives you that
So
confidence
I
back.
feel we finished second in the Premier League, but I think Carabao Cup and FA Cup is Arsenal this season.
हाँ एक कप तो आएगा definitely. I
Mm,
definitely believe if we don't get even the Premier League season, at least one cup is definitely coming. But the pressure is huge for
mm.
Arteta this season.
For sure.
Quickly, Man City पे आता है. Man City, okay. My opinion on this that everyone is forgetting about how like last season Man City was not that great in the
Mm,
first half of the season, but we
mm,
saw tweaks from Pep Guardiola in his tactical formation and how he sets up his team as well, how he
mm,
used Haaland for runs as well.
mm,
City did really well to finish where they were in the last season,
mm.
considering the start they had.
Yep.
I mean,
Man
after spending
City's
200, sorry, my bad, my bad.
Yeah, exactly. मैं वही बोल रहा था मार्मुश basically scored you the important goals twice.
Ex- exactly.
so question is I'll first come to Ankit Bhai on this one, right?
Mm,
Player of the year for Man City.
Hmm.
Reinders?
And देखो, I'm again a huge Reinders fan, मतलब,
mm,
but I would like to say Omar Marmoush. And again,
mm,
Fantastic
I've
pick.
already said that
Fantastic
last
pick.
night on my channel. So, see, Marmoush is someone who kind of half paces. He needs that extra yard of space, extra second half paces. And
mm,
when you have a physical guy like a Haaland up front, it'll be brilliant. It'll be brilliant, right, to see him
mm,
play as a neutral. And the
mm,
guy who will come off the bench and keep him on his toes is Ryan Shurky, right? So for
mm,
me, Marmoush has to be that guy.
Right.
Again, it's as important just मैंने लिवरपूल के लिए बोला था, if Gakpo works, City work. यहाँ
City.
पर
mm,
if Marmoush works, City work. Because as much as Ryan Shurky is getting all the say hype and
mm,
maybe deservedly so, yes.
mm,
लेकिन I don't think Ryan Shurky is your guy, kind of guy जो number 10 में खेलेगा 90 minutes or 75 minutes of most of the games. I think the
Right.
guy who's
Mhm.
actually going to be player at number 10 or off the left hand side will be
mm,
Omar Marmoush for me.
Right.
And I
mm,
think देखो Haaland, as much as he scores you loads of goals, and I know अभी के लिए to tell him as injury prone is wrong because now he's
Mm.
proven for multiple seasons.
mm,
But जो चीज Saka का हुआ, who knows, this might happen. We don't want injuries even for opposition. We don't want it, but you
mm,
never know. So for me, Omar Marmoush gives you that cover that City were missing at the
mm,
Right.
beginning of last season.
mm,
Alvarez had gone, remember, and this
Jochi.
time they have him for the full season,
Right. Right.
and he'll be the X factor for me, big time.
Fair, fair. And that's a fair assessment. I mean, Omar Marmoush absolutely hit the ground running right after he was signed as well. For
Mm,
player profile as well, I mean, definitely he's going to complement and actually help Haaland to perform in his top, because I know Pep is very ruthless.
mm,
Pep is very, very ruthless when it comes to keeping players. If he sees that Haaland absolutely does not fit this formation in this city, he might actually drop him in a lot of the games. We have seen that as well when he was out of form.
mm,
Marmoush, I think he's one of the most consistent players since January for Man City.
mm.
Also get that X factor of scoring from outside the box as well. That comes to second question, like Suchit. Your uh your player of the year plus a POV on where Man City needs to fix their shit.
For me, it was either Marmoush or Cherki because they're trying to bring in somebody who can replicate all those assists right in that midfield. I know the the whole hype is that Cherki is very inconsistent and all of that. I've been someone who said that as well even before the window even started. But
Right.
with Pep being there, I think he can get those things. Only we need to see how are those numbers going to come out to be. I still think he can do a thing, but we just have to see where they need to fix up. Like how Ankit Bhai said, it needs to be uh, on the defense side because their defenders are
Right.
either uh, have grown out of that. I mean, are out of their depth, or they're just like losing out on their legs. So I think they
Right. Right.
need to replenish on their defense.
Uh,
I'm kind of surprised that they've still not yet gone for Liverpool. That could be something like a late window.
and
भाई
and
मतलब Matthias Nunes has become a right back, bro.
and
Imagine.
and considering this news is coming that Forest have officially put a
Uh-huh.
bid for Rico Lewis for
Yeah.
Man City, I just don't get this situation that
Yeah.
and I've seen sometimes Matheus Nunes playing that right back role in
Mm,
inverted right back role a lot in the
mm,
last season as well, and
Mhm.
that surprised
mm,
me a lot. That where does he exactly fit there?
So
And
do we see like although I know he went like an Arsenal and a Chelsea at times did at times like 3-4-2-1 in gameplay.
uh,
mm,
Can we envisage अगर by chance Man City accept करती है
right,
because he likes player Bernardo Silva. देखो Bernardo
right,
Silva is a baller. Don't get me
mm.
wrong. But at this point in time, I don't think he should start for Manchester City. I genuinely believe that, right?
Okay.
he's
For me,
lost
he
the
has
legs.
lost his legs. So for
Mm,
me, it doesn't make sense in Premier League considering what Premier League is, the beast that it is today. So
Right,
for
mm,
right,
me, Blaken, just to kind of fit him in, Pep is
mm,
almost so Bernardo Silva that he might just play three the play back and like Portugal, remember, famously played that crazy extra time wala game. It went till there for nil and wahan par bhi he was playing
mm,
wing back. So
right.
don't be
mm,
surprised if such a thing happens because in preseason, I believe one game jo hua tha, I
mm.
believe he played half a game that way. I don't know if anyone can correct me, but I was told in my live chat that he did play that way.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rupesh बोल रहा है, he left his wife for Bernardo. Oh shit. So my opinion on this one, and Arush, keep me
Mm,
honest, right? Tejani Reinders from a player POV, right, is the perfect replacement for what they missed last season with Gundogan coming back. I think that left center midfielder. So yes, Reinders has started that CDM role in AC Milan for 60% of his time, right?
mm,
But he is the proper LCM box to box running the channels player that Man City absolutely lacked, because Man City was very pedestrian last season and there were no one was making off the ball runs by.
mm,
No
Yeah.
one was making runs behind. No one was making runs off the ball. Do you see this complete tactical switch with Reinders, considering how City played second half of season? You know what I'm talking about. City's last
Yeah.
season, second half of season, they've tweaked. Haaland was
mm,
making more runs as well down the
mm.
wide, right?
Mhm.
So what's your POV on Reinders? Will he become the most important player for Man City this season?
Yep. I do feel that Reinders is going to be the most important player, obviously, for what was mentioned in the comment as well. The third man runs that he makes, the
Mm,
defending patterns that he has in zonal defending or in man marks. I think he's someone who can elevate their side from defense to attack very quick with his ball carrying. I think he is very counterintuitive with his actions as well. So, in that sense, I do think that left center mid is his role, but we do know that he's going to start some of the games right now as a defensive midfielder until Rodri comes.
mm,
Hence, I do feel Rodri is still going to be their most important player
mm,
because
Fair.
I do think that we have seen patterns that they've lacked in that sense.
Mm.
mm,
But I think the players that really need to step up and are going to go underrated is someone
Right.
like a Jeremy Doku
He
because
has to.
I do feel he is that center point to their team for that chaos in order
mm,
to get the best out of Haaland, in order to get
against
pressure
low
out
blocks
of
in
Marmoush.
particular, right?
Yep,
Kyunki
yep, yep,
Fantastic
was
dribbling
testing.
inside the box. Even in Club World
yep,
Cup, he was absolutely fantastic. He was getting there,
yep.
getting there. He was getting those shots, but वही final numbers नहीं आ रहे. Why do you think
Mhm.
those final? He's not able to produce that final product, Jeremy
Mm.
Doku.
See, that is where Rodrigo, if he comes in, will be so helpful. Because now you can have two people who can get inside the box, right? So if
Mm.
Jeremy Doku, imagine the Jeremy Doku, Foden for all that, yeah, he could be the answer as well. Because Foden also, just like you said about Man City on the whole, कहीं ना
Right.
कहीं Foden did not work. That's why Man City did not work. One can also argue that, right?
Mm.
Because
Mm.
Right.
remember, he was a player of the season all throughout the previous year, right?
Mm.
So I think people like Foden or if Rodrigo come, na, they have that ability to get proper inside the box and
Ah,
play off Haaland, and that is probably is what they're lacking. Again, Marmoush, for all we know, could be that man as well, right? But
Mm.
अब वो ये ना उनके पास options है. अब issue वो है ही नहीं. I think scoring goals is not going to be the issue this year because they have even Ryan Cherky, right? But the
right.
whole point comes back to
The
like, can
defense.
that midfield without a Rodri in the first 2 months, as much as I love what
Yeah.
Tijani Reinders,
Mm.
kind of protect in terms of possessional gameplay,
Mm.
not to get countered.
Centrally, can someone cover the back
Mhm.
three because of the fact that your Ait Nouris, like the Ait Nouris will be very, very far wide or
That
even
left defensive
underlapping.
half space, the right defensive half space, those areas I'm talking, right?
Mm.
और
Yeah.
वहां पर I think क्योंकि मतलब I know Guardiola plays center back. I'm assuming he'll kind of move forward and he'll become that
Uh-huh.
almost a left register kind of say,
Right,
right?
right, right,
लेकिन
right.
honestly मुझे लगता है कि there will still be spaces. एत नूरी आप देख लो, नूनेस देख लो, दोनों darting runs inside outside ही मारते हैं.
And I'm
Mm.
and
I
I'm
am
and उस पे अंकित भाई, sorry to cut you off. एक ये Foden वाला situation, right? Like lot of I see lot of fans absolutely like completely disowning the like discrediting the fact that Foden because of Foden's performance, City won those two titles that they won consecutively. Foden का hype कम हो गया है because of the last season. In my opinion, Foden is the most important player for Man City. If he performs, City are winning the league. That's it. That's straightforward as it is. What do you think
yeah,
on this?
it's an English media thing actually, to be honest,
Right.
because अब देखो ना, इतना एक दिन में आपको हीरो बनाते, एक दिन में जीरो बनाते, वो वाला सीन है. सिंपल रहे.
Right.
ऑफ फील्ड रीजंस भी होंगे. आई एम assuming his mom something and all happened, I
Right.
remember.
Mm.
But anyway,
Mm.
point being, यहाँ पर I think English media के हिसाब से they are looking at pin-up boys. So for them right now, first
Right.
Saka, now Cole Palmer, you know, that has become the thing. तो उनका एक बकरा चाहिए उनको हलाल करने के लिए. That's all. And I also rate Foden. Only issue is that is Pep Guardiola sure about a starting 11, because last season में लगा था at times he wasn't,
Right.
which is so unlike him.
Yeah.
Fair.
I think
So
this is where Nico Gonzalez is also
Nico
going to be
Gonzalez.
coming in the
Mm.
picture here.
And that's why I'm seeing my question is, I
Go
think
on.
he
Mhm.
needs to trust Nico Gonzalez even more this season, considering he does not have Rodri. He has to.
Right.
They bought him for a reason in January,
Mm.
right? You
They want
still
to
have
get rid of
Kusanov.
him as well, right?
Yes, and from a
Mm.
Kusanov standpoint, right? Kusanov is so young and so agile that he absolutely can track back. His performance against Vinny Jr. against Real Madrid was fantastic, bhai. That's where
Mm.
we absolutely saw his ceiling for Kusanov that season.
Yeah.
People are asking Rodri kab tak out? He's out for 1 to 2 months now, I think, again, right?
Yeah.
First international
He's
break.
Yeah,
First
he's
international
expected to be
October something.
by
Mm.
end of
Yeah.
September.
He's like, Arush bro is a D1 Foden hater. Are you though?
I'm not a hater, but I think the hype was a bit too much post the
Too much.
23-24
Oh,
season.
again,
I don't
English
think.
media,
Yeah,
bro.
Right,
Simple
right,
as
right.
can't kill it.
Okay, so question again before we go to my favorite club, Man United.
अच्छा,
uh,
हाँ, मैं सोच रहा we are only talking about the big six in the real world in
नहीं, exactly.
2020.
हम लोग भाई dark horses and outsider quickly will come to them as well, क्योंकि if
कोई
you
नहीं, हम भी आपके साथ ही थे 1.5 साल पहले, भाई टेंशन नहीं
अरे भाई
लेगा.
देखो मैं बहुत सारे फटाफट ऑप्शन देखो, डार्क हॉर्सेस के बारे में
Oh
बात
my
करेंगे
God.
क्विकली, राइट क्विकली. दैट्स व्हाई आई कम
Jaldi,
क्विकली ऑन
jaldi.
दिस
Yeah,
वन.
let's go in fast forward mode now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's fast forward mode. So City, where do they finish this season? Suchit, quickly.
I had them at fourth behind Chelsea.
Fourth behind Chelsea. I think fair. That's where I see as well. I think they need to
Mm.
plug in their defense even more, in my opinion. Arush, where do you see City
Same,
hitting?
fourth behind
Fourth.
Chelsea itself.
Ankit bhai.
I can't
Okay.
believe for once the entire panel is agreeing. All I'm going to say, City fans, that you're going to go. मतलब, I've already said it. Liverpool, Man City, final in the Champions League. Crazy prediction मेरा already आ गया है.
Right.
तो उतना मैं bonus दे रहा हूँ आप लोगों को. लेकिन fourth in the Premier League. And, I can't see them week in week out defending. Simple as that.
Absolutely. Bhai Arnav, this is what we want, bhai, in this channel, bhai. The panel is OG. मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ. The chat is OG in this channel. Even on Football Showdown. Even all Almighty Blues. People who are watching the stream, like and subscribe. all the channels. मेरे को भी कर दो. 1000 पहुंचना है मुझे भी जल्दी. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the support. Ash Pawar is here, fourth. Fantastic. Fair. I think fourth is realistic, but you know what? City might actually surprise everyone, which comes to my favorite club of my whole life, Man United. Let's go, guys. Man United player of the year. From a neutral POV, I want to ask this question. Which is the most vital player for United this season? Maybe आप underrated बोलो या कुछ भी बोलो. Who is your guy for Man United this season, and where they will finish realistically this season, considering now that we have lost out on Baliba?
Very interesting.
Who is
Go
your-
first.
Yeah,
Good.
Sujit, go first.
नहीं, मेरा तो I think kind of Ashish knows it, but I've been talking about this and I
वो
think
परे हो मेरे पर, I know it. ठीक है बोलो.
नहीं ये defending में आऊंगा मैं mainly. देखो,
नहीं,
as much as you have a system and all that, I think the defense starts with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Andre Onana bhai. Onana is the answer. क्योंकि apparently you're not going. अभी things might change because अगर बलेबा का सच में नहीं आ रहा है, you might actually go on and bring someone in for a goalkeeper. You never know. But for me, if you get the goalkeeping situation well, now somewhere I feel that because you don't have Champions League football, you don't have Europa League football, you can build a structure and kind of build from that, which will help you and which helped us back in the day under Conte to some extent under Pochettino. It certainly helps. Trust me, it helps from the beginning of the season. और मुझे, I don't know, again, Arsenal, Manchester United, even Chelsea to some extent, people have been underrating this season like anything I see generally जो देख रहा हूँ बहुत सारे podcasts. But I genuinely believe Manchester United, yes, pre-season में there were a lot of question marks, especially in the midfield. But I believe अगर आप वो defense starting with the goalkeeper sort out करोगे ना, you will get a lot more results. And you can get top 6.
And absolutely, before I move to Suchit and Aruj, I would like to absolutely second on this point. Because of the whole situation, how Onana plays from the back, we create so much uncertainty and anxiety right in the back. Amorim has already mentioned this, that we are so anxious when we play from the back. I think Amorim ko bhi nahi khilna hai with a goalkeeper from the back. Amorim wants the 3 center backs to actually conduct from the passes from the back so that they can connect with your wing backs and form that triangle situation with your
you don't want your goalkeeper to be in the news, basically.
Exactly. And he absolutely does not need to. That's why we are actually actively looking for a goalkeeper to replace Onana, because वो player profile नहीं चाहिए. It was a Eric Ten Hag player profile that they wanted to do this, right? Coming back to question to Suchit and Arush, maybe who's going to go first in this one. Your player of the year for Man United, who's going to be the most important player that if he performs, United might actually finish a lot higher than they're expected to.
Is Bruno part of this thing? Should we keep Bruno in this conversation?
He can't be part of it.
That's what we'll remove Bruno and
remove Bruno from this, because it's unfair to do like Bruno will perform no matter what. He will produce that consistency, right?
Yeah, I think that's
let's talk about the others, right?
I think in my perspective, the most important player for y'all for the whole side would be Acuna, because I see him being the best attacking player y'all have signed. He is someone who's going to defy the odds for y'all, at least in games where y'all don't have enough of the ball. But his moment of magic is going to define the game.
Right.
What I think is going wrong for United is that they still haven't found their balance in the side. And that the different players that they've been playing at defense, in midfield, in attack, hasn't done them any justice. They should be going, I feel, very high in the cup competitions. They have one game week. They should be taking it to their advantage, and they should be building onto that. And to conclude, I would say that I see them get a European spot, but it's going to be a 7th or an 8th.
Right.
I know that we have to cover a lot of the quick. Because Arush is also interested in tactics, and we were discussing that point, right? About the systems and how the setups will be. I generally believe, Ashish, please pitch in, but don't you think Amorim kahin na kahin should also at some point realize that this squad ke liye right now, he could actually go a 4-3-3. If to think about it, you have a Mason Mount, you have a Bruno. If you're not getting a Baliba, that's why I'm bringing this point, right? Because Ugarte is more like a sitter and destroyer only, and you don't need a ball carrier, and you have like a Bruno and a Mason Mount,
I think
or even like a Kobe Mino, right?
Abhi theek hai.
So I'm just kind of counter questioning it, because for me, this Baliba thing changes a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
This Baliba thing absolutely changes a lot of things.
Can I add to Ankit, bro?
Bolo.
Actually, so I wanted to say, I want to add to Arush and Ankit. So I think, right, the player profiling is where you guys could make a mistake in. Because Ahmad playing as a right wing back when he's so good offensively is a question I have. Like, are you like not utilizing his best qualities by playing him as a right wing back, or like was Mbeumo really a player that you really needed when somebody where you could honestly go for like a solid right wing back, maybe
Right.
like a Frimpong or someone like that. So I think the player profiling or like somewhere in that has some along those
And
lines have
also in this
doubts.
space, the
Uh-huh.
attacking signings haven't really done justice to a Bruno Fernandes, who has to be the main cog of the side. You're going to
Mm,
Yep.
see him play in midfield, which is
mm,
not
Right.
his best position, just
mm,
for the sake that you're going to have three superstar signings coming in to actually elevate the
Exactly.
attack.
mm,
Fair. And so my POV on this one as well, like from player profile, Suchit, I think Mbumo does fit in
mm,
terms of what he definitely brings from Brentford. Like,
mm.
also can play very wide based on his touch maps I have analyzed, and he also
Yeah.
cuts in a lot. So
Mm,
and
Direct.
from a physical standpoint, also,
mm,
bhai, he has made so many in behind runs as well. 400 kareeb in behind runs as well. He's
mm,
taken progress the ball as well,
mm,
carries stuff from the deep,
Yeah,
physical as well, fit as well. The player played
mm,
every game in the Premier League for the last 2 seasons, right?
mm, mm,
So
clinical as well.
exactly.
mm,
So from that POV, we are sorted in terms of, and from and they will link definitely with Ahmad and Mbumo both.
mm,
I agree with this one. Right wing back is where we had to solve an issue because first of all, Diogo Dalot, right, the player I love the most, is not a right wing back. He's a full
mm,
back stuck in
mm.
a team playing a wing
Like
back position,
Frimpong, Dumfries, you see so many people are available.
right?
That's what, huh?
25 million पे Dumfries was
Yeah.
available, proven
Mm,
international talent, proven Champions League talent was
mm,
available in the market. The
mm,
Inter were ready to sell Dumfries. We did not go for him. Rather,
mm,
we like focused on other issues. In my opinion, that's where they should have actually prioritized the sell of Diogo Dalot and actually brought in a right wing back for this formation. So that because
mm,
Ahmad is not physical,
mm,
I've said this to United fans a lot that if you keep on
mm,
seeing Ahmad ka reels, you will believe that he's the best player in the world, but he's not,
mm,
Yeah.
right?
That's any player.
Right,
mm,
and
mm,
that's a fact for any player, right? So we have United fans have to be honest as well that hey, you know what, Ahmad is not physical enough. Mbumo might have to drop his attacking numbers a lot to support Ahmad. People don't
mm.
realize, and also we are lacking that balance in the squad, in my opinion, with Ahmad and Mbumo both missing in December, January due to AFCON,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Mazraoui
Yes, he
missing
had
as
this
well.
one as a
Mazraoui
yes.
is
This
also
don't
missing.
you think this is where someone like Mason
Xerxes,
Mount, someone like Kobe Minu, someone like a Zirkzee really have to step up
absolutely.
prior to
Mm,
this stage of the
yeah.
season?
And those are those profile of players who actually need minutes. That momentum wale bande bhai.
Mm,
Yeah,
Right,
उनको
mm,
चाहिए.
mm,
And for me,
exactly.
that is where I'm not getting it. Like, so for
mm,
example, and I would have mera prediction mein it would have been even higher. Ashish, I'm already saying that they'll do
Right.
well. But for
mm,
me, you are ready to play and I know it's good. Aiden Haven at the back in the 11, when
mm,
you have someone like a Kobe Mino or a Mason Mount sitting on the bench, possibly, and even an Amar Diallo for that matter.
mm,
So
Right.
you got to play your best 11 and play to your strengths. But I get it. Matlab, Amorim has clearly said you got to suffer. You can't change in 4 weeks. So
Right.
I think he's keeping the expectations low. But you're Manchester United. 4 weeks, mein pressure will tell, and your start is
Hmm.
difficult.
No, fair. No, that's
sorry.
why that's why I have absolutely agree with everyone. I think the criticism is fair now, and I've said this before, right? Now that we do have not fixed our pivot situation, I don't see Bruno as the pivot during that
Mm,
AFCON period as well. I actually want Kobe Meno who is being absolutely right now molded into that pivot role and to play alongside Ugarte so that I can see Bruno playing that 10 role and giving us even more numbers when we need to during that January phase. I think Bruno as a 10 is a much better option to give you at least 25 goals and assists with Mbumo missing. And in that period, that's why I agree with you. We don't have Dumfries. We have
mm,
Diogo Dalot playing right wing back. And
mm,
that's a big problem for me because defensively, Diogo Dalot is very sus, right? So we'll lose that. We lose that. And from my POV, right, on this
mm,
one, if I am actually touting, and this might be a wild prediction, okay,
mm.
I think it's going to be Matthias de Ligt for Man United this season.
I think he will be very crucial.
He
What
is the most crucial player right now, considering the backup options we have, because he's going to be the center back for starting
Mm.
one. Like
hmm
Maguire is not going to be the starter. Let's
Then
be
give us
clear.
Maguire, no?
You want Maguire?
आई डोंट माइंड मैं आज ही लड़ रहा था एक चेल्सी फैन के साथ कि भाई मुझे Tosin का profile ये Maguire, he's better than Tosin.
If you play a
technically
back
speaking.
three, Maguire fits there because what
Yeah.
Maguire has worked on in his game this season, and Arush and Suchit also, you guys let me know.
Hmm.
Maguire knows his limited abilities as a player
Limitations.
in
Yeah,
terms
yeah,
of
yeah.
pace.
Yeah.
He has worked with Ricardo Carvalho alag se to fix his
We
defensive
need a calming guy who is kind of okay not to have pace but to read the game
to
and
read the
get
game.
you
So,
headers.
so
I
what
think
The
was
Maguire might
experience
be
also
best
counts.
suited for United as well, no? Because under Southgate in that 5-man back system, he was superb. I don't think. I
absolutely
think he
because he
will
has a
be.
specific role, na? He has specific
No,
role
but
to win aerial
Southgate plays
duels.
negative football. Now Amorim doesn't want to play that anymore.
Right. So, in my opinion,
Also,
that's
what's this situation with Lisandro Martinez?
Lisandro
Ah,
Martinez is back from injury. He's already started grass training already, but he's nowhere near fit, right? So this is where Aiden Heaven is going to play most of the games, right? In his situation, and he's fantastic. I like him, and I wanted Maguire's Maldini in the back three. Fair. He does. See, Maguire wins your aerial duels a lot. He tackles when it's needed. He protects the box really well. He can't just track back because of his pace, right?
Mhm.
Matthias De Ligt, in my opinion, needs to have the season because player ability is fantastic, experience in playing in big clubs. There was a phase between January to March, and he himself accepted in the interview that he did recently at Man United as well that he was in a fantastic form and he was the best player for Man United, and then he got injured.
Yeah.
I have
mm,
issues with his injury history
mm,
because when he played his first season at Bayern Munich, he was in the team of the season as well in
mm,
the Bundesliga.
mm.
Right, so people discredit him as a player. I don't discredit him as a player. I discredit his injury history. It's the same with Lisandro Martinez. That's why I want him sold next season.
Yeah. No. I when मतलब as a Dutch fan, I can clearly say जब De Ligt को आप wide drag करते हो ना, then he has problems. But if he plays center back and a back three, he's brilliant. I agree.
Yeah.
1.6 million guys. Thank you so much. Football Felix is here. Thank you so much. Euro 2024 England, Maguire, left center back. Yeah, they were pretty solid in my opinion. Where do you, and question now quickly will before we move to the con relegate hoga, what's going to be dark horse and everything, and the
Yeah.
golden glove and the who's going to be the striker of the year. United now, considering that we might not sign any midfielder, who knows by the end of the season, Baliba and his agent might actually force the deal. You never know. We might go for another player.
Mm-hmm.
Let's consider we didn't sign any midfield right now, right?
Mm.
We only have those three strikers fixed. Where is United finishing, considering all the problems that we discussed about?
Wow. मतलब I had them.
Difficult to guess.
Yeah.
I
Not
had them
really.
fifth. I have them fifth basically, and it's
Fifth.
crazily good. I know that's too much pressure on United right away क्योंकि आप कितना 15-16 finish किए थे क्या last year 15th. So from
15th.
that
Yeah.
it's huge. But I think again, lot depends on the transfers जो होगा नहीं होगा. So I think sixth will be probably be fair
Sixth,
as a
yeah,
ballpark.
sixth. I'm going for a top 8 in my opinion. अगर midfield fix कर लिए होते Baliba, I was going for a top 6 man, absolutely. But now that we don't have the midfield, I see already those issues in the midfield in the preseason. So I'm going with a vibe wala season again for a top 8 finish. Arush and Suchit, your predictions on
You
United.
guys are
before
like
we move.
so unpredictable for me, right? Because the
Enigma.
preseason, yeah, like because this preseason, the Everton game and Bournemouth game, in the same way how you scored against Bournemouth, in that
Right.
same pattern you conceded in the counter attack.
Right.
So
And
it's like
Newcastle is exactly the same. Suchit, this time both the United teams are so difficult to
right.
predict.
quickly करते हैं आप लोगों को बाकी topics are so
fine.
okay.
Okay, I'll say seventh, like how Aru said. I think that's a safe bet for me.
Okay, fair.
Seventh for me.
Seventh for United. So that comes to a question now. It's time to quickly give your calls right now. Who's gonna win the Golden Glove this season in the Premier League?
I'll back my boy Raya.
Yeah, it's got to be Raya, man.
It's gonna
Arsenal
be
has
Raya.
got the
Based on
best
the
defense.
based on Saliba and Gabriel, man, it's completely like and
हाँ,
Raya also
correct.
makes those saves, right? Let's be absolutely fair. But मेरा उसमें एक है कि I think Jordan Pickford again. I think I have mentioned this. Everton is gonna have a very good season this season.
Yeah,
So my
I do
pick.
feel that.
Yeah,
The vibes are great.
agreed.
New stadium, nice inclusion of players.
The
But
vibes are good.
one second. How have you missed the goat here? Sanchek.
Sanchek नहीं डाला because we know the reasons. Onana भी नहीं डाला मैंने. So I think I think that's a universal. I think
Max Sells is also a very good
Max
option.
Sells is
Max Sells is a very
Nottingham's
good.
defense is really
if
good.
Forest again have that season that they had in the first half of the season, they might actually do
To be
it. but I
fair, they've
think-
not lost most of the defense, right? So
no,
they've
they
done
did.
Yeah.
They
well.
have that core.
Yeah.
They had links for Murillo was linked, but they
Yeah,
did not sell him.
Milinkovic, आपका आयना सब है भाई
Murillo,
अभी भी.
सब है.
Milinkovic, Ireland,
They have Elliot
Neco
Anderson
Williams
as
is
well
also
to
there.
protect. Fantastic by right.
Yep.
Golden Boot winner, guys. Chat भी बताओ.
क्या
The
out of
safest
syllabus
bet.
आंसर
It's
रहेगा यहाँ
Haaland.
पर.
It's Haaland. Bhai.
The safest bet for me, I think, looking how things are, I think Salah, not Haaland, because they still have that midfield thing not yet sorted, right? City.
Right,
That's why
right,
I'm
right.
going with Salah. But I won't be surprised if Haaland is the one who just racks up those goals in like 5-6 games, like
I
15
am
goals.
going for Haaland this season
Mm,
because now he has support of Marmoush, and now with
mm,
Reinders as well. I think
mm,
that you will see a better Haaland in my opinion as well, and with Ryan Chucky as well.
mm.
चैट भी बहुत लोग हालैंड बोल रहे हैं, ग्योकरेश के नाम भी आ रहे हैं. ग्योकरेश will do well. I am pretty
Why I
sure.
didn't choose Gyökeres because there's a good chance that Havertz will start games over Gyökeres, whereas it won't be the case with
In the
Haaland.
beginning at
Really?
least.
In the
Yeah,
beginning
yeah,
though, even
हो
yeah.
after the
सकता है.
preseason, Gyökeres had.
I can see. Honestly, it can happen. That's the thing. That is the
Right,
thing.
right,
I'm not even kidding.
right,
You
right,
might,
right,
you
right,
know,
right.
he comes from Pep school, na Arteta. Same Maresca जैसे. I agree.
Right.
You know what? मैं यहाँ पर off field, मतलब rather out of syllabus answers दे रहा हूँ. I know Newcastle jersey पहना हुआ है, लेकिन इधर भी I think खेलेगा और Isaac रहेगा आंसर मेरे लिए.
Uh-huh. Fair enough.
My
fair.
He'll come
option
back.
is gonna be Oli Watkins.
Damn.
Wally
You're
Watkins,
proving
let's
everyone
go,
wrong,
man.
no?
He's
Again.
proven everyone. Fantastic preseason numbers, by the way. 5 goals already in the
Mm.
preseason. Again, but man, I've been a fan of Watkins in so long. People discredit him. Age. Nahi. Age is not a factor. Experience. Mind outshines your physicality any day. Agar वैसा होता तो Zubimendi was not one of the best CDMs ever right now in the current scene of the game, right? Pedro 20 goal season. Nahi, that will be too much in my opinion. That expectation is too
The
much.
way he's banging goals, it's an underrated shot. I don't think I can completely deny it. I think it's an underrated shot.
Fair. Okay, we have 10 minutes में we'll close the stream quickly. ठीक है. So my pick is going to be Haaland based on the start he has in the season. But I won't be surprised if I see Gyökeres in that list. I think Salah numbers will drop this season in my opinion, right?
Because Isak will score all his
Ankit
goals
bhai,
for
your
Liverpool.
golden boot winner.
Isaac मैं बोल रहा हूँ अभी भी माफ करेंगे पहले Newcastle उसको. I think he'll play.
Okay. Fair.
Ashby, no Sesko talks.
No Sesko talks because I want him to be like thoda sa protected at this
Good.
point.
And I think
don't want to.
you'll distribute the goals among the three, what I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Manchester United
That's what.
especially.
So we scored only 44 last season. If we score 7, if we bridge that gap of scoring the goals, but midfield जब तक fix नहीं करोगे goals नहीं आने वाला. I'm already our build up play is sus, right? So that's why I'm a bit worried. Quickly, जाएंगे and Ankit bhai, I know you are there. I'm gonna talk Chelsea a bit more detail when Suchit and Arush leaves. Dark horses of the season, guys. First, I'll ask Arush, your dark horse of the season. I've included United as well because we are nowhere near competing for Champions League spots. But do you see United being the dark horse considering they're only playing once a week?
Are muted again.
Ruko.
I'd like to tackle the other clubs first. I think my biggest dark horse for this season is going to be a Nottingham Forest.
United
Yes,
ignored.
they do have Europe to play, but the signings that they've made and the signings that they are yet to make are very, very ambitious for Nuno Espirito Santo. For the way he plays, all counter-attacking, I think they are actually real favorites to actually go do well in a knockout stage as well.
People forget the signings.
Yeah. And my next team would obviously be Aston Villa under Unai Emery. Good evening. But in that sense, I think their signings have also been very astute. I think they've got a very good striker in Guasan. They have Malen, who's done very well in preseason as well. The defense looks much better than it was.
Right.
So yeah, in that sense, them. United, yes, I do want them to be dark horses, but it's again the same thing that I said. They need to find the balance between the season. One game at a season is good, but if that one game is not being looked in a win, that one game looks the worst week that you can have because you have one chance to prove yourself. You don't prove yourself in that week. The next week gets worse. So in that sense, in my eyes, I don't see them to be the dark horses. But United is United. They have to do well and they have to come in the top 8 for my liking. So
absolutely.
That is
High on Football is here. Thank you so much for joining, bhai. Suno, Spurs, I did not keep it because I am touting Spurs to finish in the top 5 actually. So you guys are not dark horse, bhai. You are there.
People are not rating. Maybe that is the whole reason, but fair enough.
No. I rate Spurs a lot, definitely, because I have tipped them for finishing in the top 5. That's why I did not keep them in the dark horse because you guys are Europa League.
Thomas Frank was linked with Manchester United. Remember before? Thomas Frank.
Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
He was there. Ankit bhai, and Suchit before you leave. So I think they'll
Suchit, go ahead.
Suchit, go ahead.
Same thing with Forest. People have thought that Forest will be founded because of the reason that they're going into Champions League and this thing. Their new sporting director is none other than Edu, right? So I think at least the ambition that they're showing is like really good, and I think they're going to get Omari Hutchinson as well, if I'm not, or is it Brentford?
Yeah,
Omari,
If,
McAtee as well.
yeah,
McAtee.
McAtee as well, and
Crazy,
they.
man. Number of signings they always get.
Mhm.
Crazy.
And they kept even Morgan Gibbs White. Had they
Yes.
lost
Yep.
Morgan Gibbs White, I think a lot of that there'll be hope.
Now
But
that
And they've
core of
signed
Gibbs
Dan
White and
Endo as well.
Anderson, that
mm,
Gibbs White and
It
Anderson
also
core they
shows
have
the
maintained
ambition,
it.
right? It
yeah,
shows the
Yeah.
ambition.
Absolutely,
mhm,
absolutely
yeah.
fantastic.
For me, it is Forest, and then obviously Aston Villa because of Unai Emery.
Because they have a well
Newcastle,
structured squad.
yeah.
They have a football philosophy they believe
Mm,
in, and everyone have
Hmm.
played absolutely well
mhm.
there.
Yep.
If
Gigi
Forest,
collab,
if Newcastle does something, it's a miracle in my opinion because there's too much turmoil in their this thing, squad's mentality at this point because
right.
nobody knows where who's going.
Fair.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No,
Yeah.
that's good. I know you guys have to leave, Suchit and
Mm,
Arush, but first of all, thank you so much for coming. What a
mm.
stream, bhai. What a stream again. Thank you so much
Yes.
for your opinions. I hope you like. I hope you enjoyed the stream as well with
Mm.
us. Uh,
Yes.
Chat, who's watching, subscribe to the Football Showdown before they leave, and also subscribe to Almighty Blues as well. OGs are here. It's a long season. We're gonna do a lot of streams together.
Yep.
Fantastic uh, panel here
Good
today.
warm up session for sure, man. For sure.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah,
तो
I
कलेश
love
भी
yeah.
हो
that.
गया था बीच में. It was good. That was also needed.
See,
Uh,
that's the thing. The original top four वाली feeling आ रही है धीरे धीरे, So
uh,
hopefully,
mm,
Manchester
My
and Chelsea
villain are
fans are back now. Finally,
bro देखो
looks like it.
मैं ऐसे एनालिसिस फुटबॉल ये बोलते रहता हूँ, right? Once season start, my villain mark gets activated as well. So I'm also
mhm,
coming, भाई. मैं भी banter mode में आने वाला हूँ soon, right?
mm.
Yeah, well, amazing stream. Yes, the stream is not done yet. Ankit bhai is going to stay for a few minutes because we will talk about relegation. Okay.
Okay.
But Suchit and Arush, thank you so much for joining. आप लोग को watch
Thank
along
you
है.
for
Guys,
having us.
do join the watch along after my stream. Thank you so much.
Definitely.
Yep. Yep.
Bye bye.
Thank
See
you
you.
so
See
much.
you. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye
So,
Ankit bhai.
I think हमने फॉरेस्ट बात कर लिया था सुचित और आरुष ने बोला था सो फॉरेस्ट एंड प्रॉब्ली एस्टन विला आई
Right.
थिंक आई नो न्यूकासल का पीपल आर स्लीपिंग ऑन इट व्हाट आई फील मुझे अलग लगता है एडी हाउ इज योर ओल्ड स्कूल मैनेजर गिव हिम
Yep.
अ स्मॉलर स्क्वाड ही विल डू बेटर आई फील फॉर मी
Right.
न्यूकासल वांट यस दे एब्सोल्युटली वांट द ट्रांसफर विंडो टू एंड लाइक टुडे नाउ
Right.
ठीक है लेकिन अगर ट्रांसफर विंडो एंड हो गया इमेजिन द सिचुएशन इज एडी हाउ इन द डग आउट you still have people forget yes they are shortage of strikers literally Gordon could play the first two matches up front
Right.
if he's fit that too
Definitely.
lekin they can get a Visa right they could get a Isaac kept they definitely have an Elanga they already have a Murphy they have a Barnes they have a Gordon they have a Tonali they have a Guimaraes I turmoil है but for me once the transfer window ends right and I know that's a big if और अभी कब होने वाला है ऐसा लग रहा है but I believe Eddie Howe give him smallest squad and Ramsey has come who actually rate
Right.
whatever be the money the point being that they know how to dig out and for me Newcastle, yes, squad depth will be a concern, definitely, going deep into the season. लेकिन I think I still believe कि अभी compared to the other teams, मैं उनको top 6 में रख रहा हूँ अभी भी. Manchester and Newcastle मेरे लिए 5th 6th होने वाली है
5th 6th होने वाला
That's my
है
prediction.
because the fact that United is playing every one game once and they don't need to might not meet those
हाँ,
injury.
उनका वो है और Newcastle का ये है कि it's good that they sometimes you don't make many signs, even Aston Villa to some extent because you know how each other plays.
And see, people think that okay, because of the whole Sesko Isaac situation, their transfer window has been such. No, they have fixed the right wing situation with Ilanga. Fantastic numbers, by the way. Bought the Forest best player.
Or it suits his system.
Suits the system, na. Yeah. And he and Murphy are exactly identical players in terms of profile. Who's gonna deliver
and he's a better finisher.
Right,
if you think about it.
Absolutely. Fantastic. He's a better finisher as well. Better underlap run मारता है, center से भी run बनाता है, right? And Jacob Ramsey also they have signed up, which is a very very fantastic signing.
अभी आप say for example there will be game जहाँ पर one midfielder को Joelinton या maybe Tonali in game जहाँ पर आपको इतना ज़्यादा pressing नहीं चाहिए, you can probably rest one of them.
Exactly. And it's a long season, right? Gordon injured हो जाता है, Joelinton injured हो जाता है, so definitely Ramsey will come as a backup option, right? So मेरे हिसाब से the dark horse definitely again will be Newcastle United. People are discrediting Newcastle United. I think they will be there in the top 5, top 6 race because Isaac is not leaving. Isaac is a professional. He is gonna play and score goals again this season.
Yeah.
Relegation candidates, bhai. Relegation candidates, Ankit bhai.
Oof, you know what? Yeah, I think Manchester and Chelsea fans will agree. Dirty leads, हम लोग का common term होता है.
Right.
Dirty leads. But jokes
Right.
apart, I think देखो as much as कहीं ना कहीं Burnley ex Chelsea manager, ex
Right.
Chelsea player who's a manager, ex Chelsea 3 players have gone. Burnley कहीं ना कहीं एक championship की Everton है, हमें सब पता ही है. They
Right.
get you the results, but I feel up front there will be enough goals. I don't think so.
Right.
Sunderland have made a lot of signings. Sometimes it's not good. Like Nottingham Forest has proven that sometimes you can get out of it finally, eventually, to
Right.
the end of the season. वो बनेगा. So I think they will get enough points.
Hmm.
So will, in my opinion, West Ham. Yes, West Ham में you have a huge question marks. और of course अपना ही manager वहाँ भी गया है वापस.
Right.
लेकिन I genuinely believe keeping Bowen is a big win for them.
Right.
For me, the other three is the answer simple. Burnley,
Hmm.
Leeds and Wolves. Wolves मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ.
Hmm.
देखो Wolves, I know Strand Larson and other candidates
I
are
know.
there who are कहीं ना कहीं underrated, but for me, Wolves at home are beatable.
Beatable.
compared
They
to, say,
have
the
had a
other
very
teams.
very poor. Like आप जब से नूनेस जा चुका है ना, Nuno Espirito Santo, नूनेस बोल रहा हूँ. Nuno Espirito Santo जब से जा चुका है, now he's on Nottingham. उनका होम पे that fear factor has completely finished.
It's gone. Wolves is shit. क्या बोला था मडवेके ने?
हाँ, तो exact. So and Wolves conceded so many goals. Even if they secured Strand Larson, their defense.
Yeah, defense is totally gone, bro. वो था ही नहीं.
Absolutely.
Wolves का defense से also ऐसा लगता था nil-nil लिखा
Right.
है. It's written
Right.
nil-nil, but now it
My
won't happen.
my relegation candidates this season. I know Graham Potter is there in West Ham, but my relegation candidates this year will be Wolves, West Ham, and Burnley are going down. I think Leeds
Wow.
and Sunderland are staying. Sunderland because
Leeds
of the
have
signings.
made a couple of good signings. I get that, but I still believe. मतलब आप दो बोल रहे हो recent years में वो हुआ नहीं, which is again it might surprise a lot of people, which is good.
Right.
for the Premier League.
Because I definitely what I've seen from Leeds is definitely fantastic football. They've not lost many of their core as well. They had not like made major signings, but उनका core जो है they're pretty good in my opinion. I think West Ham will struggle a lot this season. Their players are underperforming. Kudus left. Paqueta might also leave. Their Max Gilman isn't good that everyone thought about. West Ham will have a 60 बोल रहे हैं, I think.
Relegation candidates है definitely.
Relegation candidates. It will be a struggle for West Ham this season again. In my opinion, Everton has.
They do have clutch players, लेकिन वो सिर्फ मैं वो सोचता हूँ उनका.
Antonio भी नहीं है इस बार. Antonio is also gone. So my relegation candidate this year will be Wolves,
Fair.
West Ham, and Burnley. They are going down. Sunderland will stay. Underrated signings, fantastic transfer window in my opinion, and Leeds are a good football team. I think they are willing to stay here. Bhai. So last question before we end the stream. Bhai, first of all, Ankit bhai, thank you so much for staying so long. Bhai, मजा आ गया stream. I hope you had fun as well. It was a
बिल्कुल बहुत मजा आया. To be honest, this is one of those discussions, right? We always kind of wait when the season ends. We plan in our heads कि क्या होगा नहीं होगा. So we have kind of touched upon almost all the aspects. अब ये the thing is all we have discussed might change in the last 2 weeks of the transfer window. वो भी मैं बोलता हूँ disclaimer guys, people watching.
हम लोग एक और वीडियो करेंगे साथ में वेयर आफ्टर ट्रांसफर विंडो लीग प्रेडिक्शन तब हम लीग दैट्स वेयर अंकित भाई हम लोग ना लीग टेबल तब करेंगे साथ में ठीक है ना fantastic bhai thank you so much for everyone who's joined the stream it was a goated stream on the channel first of all three fantastic channels came on to and hope you guys have liked and subscribed to the video and my channel as well but also have subscribed to all the 3 channels that I mentioned in the title OG Ankit bhai thank you so much for being here bhai always a pleasure to have you thank you so much for the stream guys everyone who's here what a session can't wait for the season to begin Liverpool game in few minutes to go सबके चैट पे जाएंगे कुक करेंगे लेट्स गो थैंक यू सो मच थैंक यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग हियर बाय एवरीवन